mucho gusto, eres una chica más. Después de 5 minutos ya eras alguien especial. Sin hablarme, sin tocarme, algo dentro se encendió. En tus ojos, si hace tarde me olvidaba del reloj. Estos días a tu lado me enseñaron que en verdad no hay tiempo determinado para comenzar a amar. Siento algo tan profundo que no tiene explicación. No hay razón ni lógica en mi corazón. Entra en mi vida, te abro la puerta. Sé que en tus brazos ya no habrá noches desiertas. Entra en mi vida y yo te lo ruego. Te comencé por extrañar, pero empecé a necesitarte luego. Buenas noches, mucho gusto, ya no existe nadie más. Después de este tiempo juntos, no podré volver a estar.
Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered, the real deal. No pre-planning, no chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
And we are live. Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Wednesday. Well, I know everybody's having a fantastic Wednesday, Joey, because it's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So,
I haven't eaten all day.
Neta.
I'm waiting for tomorrow. I want to make sure I'm hungry.
No, man, saludos a todos. Everybody tuning in from wherever you're tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. Tonight's going to be another great episode, of course, man. You know, mission of both nights. Somebody's text messaging me right now, right before I start a show.
And we started 5 minutes late because he was looking for his dog.
And he's upstairs with my son.
I heard him just yelling, "Tiger." I'm going, my wife calls me that. What? Is she here? What are you talking about, Tiger?
No, man. But yeah, tonight's the busiest night on the highway. So if you guys are right now on the highway tuning in, thank you guys so much. You know, you can hang out with us for an hour, a little hour and so it's some change. You can we'll take us along for your ride wherever you might be going. Maybe up 35, maybe down 35, maybe going east on 10, maybe going west on 10. I don't know.
There's construction everywhere, so you're gonna be driving slow.
Oh,
anyways,
bro, right here in our area that we live in is just horrible. The construction is just absolutely horrible. But again, man, I want to welcome everybody. If this is your first time watching Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, on behalf of my guest tonight, Mr. Joey Martinez, welcome to the show. We try to bring you the best in La Onda Tejana, the best interviews in and out. We actually have two guests tonight. It's me, Joey, and a mosca that I can't kill that's flying around this mug.
Yeah, so if you see me swatting it, I'm trying to hit the mosca,
So,
not you.
Joey, welcome to the show, dude.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me, Bumper. It's been a while.
We've been talking a long time to make this show happen, and we finally, you finally made the cut, Joey.
I appreciate it. Who canceled, bro? Who canceled?
No, man. Saludos to everybody again, everybody that's watching. And I know people wanted me to talk about. And before I get into the interview, I already talked to Joey about. We want to talk about this piece of hardware that we got here. Thanks to you guys, man. Thanks to you guys. Bumper's Wacky Wednesday was voted #1 Tejano podcast we had some great people that we were up against. Three Amigos, Puro Pedo Talk Show, Keith
Damn,
Liao,
it's heavy,
New
too.
Mexico Talk Show. So we had quite a bit of different podcasts. So which is good, dude, because that tells me, that a lot of people are doing podcasts. That's a great thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Anything that's going to promote the music and promote, I'm all for that.
That's it. So Joey,
Yeah.
welcome to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, man. For the second time, I've told you that, but welcome to the show, dude. I know you traveled from up the street.
Up the street, I thought I got here a little bit early because I thought it was going to take me 15 minutes, but it actually only took me 8. I'm right across the interstate on the other side.
Yeah, man. But right now, man, the traffic that got so bad right now.
It was all back right. I straight shot Tupper wine.
Yeah, traffic right now is just extremely bad. I was just on another live with our good friend Rocky Beltran. He's staying here with us for the weekend, and he was here before he took off to the liquor store. And of course, we were talking Tejano music, so it's always a good time with Rock. Shout out to Rock. Shout out to Tweet. Shout out to Juan de Dios Saldaña watching from North Carolina. Hell yeah!
Yes.
We got people tuning in from Arizona. I saw a little bit. To Ralph Pesina. You know Ralph Pesina?
I know Ralph Pesina out there. That dude is always pushing 20. He loves that 2020 album.
Bro, that's the number one. Nobody can take it from him. That is the number one Musicales fan in the world.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All
Thank
the way
you,
from
Ralph.
Monterrey, Nuevo León. I got to meet him for the first time last Saturday. No, last
cool.
Friday. Last Friday, I went to Laredo with David Lee. I got to go down on the bus with them and hang out with them. And Gary Hobbs opened up. Got to talk to Gary, but Ralph was there, and I got to shoot the shit with them, man. It was pretty cool to finally meet a guy that's always supporting the show. He's always supporting Tejano music. He's a huge fan, all the way from Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. So saludos, man. Thank you for tuning in. Johnny Garcia is watching from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Está frío.
How cold is it in Kenosha, Wisconsin right now? Wow. Shout out to my good friend Bacon Vela, Jacob Bacon Vela, watching on the road to the RGV. Man, be careful on the road. Everybody traveling, be careful on the road. So, Joey, welcome to the show. And, we talk Tejano music, man. And you have been around Tejano music how many years, dude?
I mean, officially I got up on stage and my son was 30. So he was 29 years. So he's 30 now. He just turned 30. So he was a year old. First time I got up on stage doing Tejano. First time I got up on stage was when I was 7 years old with Midnight Mass. They made me sing The Little Drummer Boy. But hey.
Midnight Mass, man. Midnight Mass.
That was a good show because everybody was half asleep. So I guess I did okay.
You did okay? Everybody, nobody else fell asleep?
Everybody was asleep. So yeah, it worked out.
No, man. Joey, so where'd you grow up at, bro?
I grew up in West Texas, small little town out there, Pecos, Tarilas, what we like to call it.
So that's why you're close with all the West Side, the West Texas guys,
West
Tweed
Texas.
and all those guys, man.
Big Spring right there,
Big
the
Springs.
Steers. That's what it's all about out there in West Texas. Like I say, east side of Pecos. Shout out to all those Tarilas people out there. I don't want to start saying names because if I do it, I'm gonna leave somebody out. But I'll mention some people here later. If I mention any names that forget to say something, then I'm gonna hear it later. Hey, so shout out to all the people that are gonna say, "Hey, you forgot to mention my name."
You got them.
Got him.
Hey, here we don't. What do you call it? We use anything, whatever.
Yeah.
We make it happen, man.
Are you this one of your sponsors?
No,
no.
We had a Michelada sponsorship, but we kind of fell apart. But
Marines, adapt and overcome. It's a Marine right there.
What? Mambo?
Adapt and overcome.
Yeah, adapt and overcome right there, man, for sure. So Chris Pettis says, "Hey, Joey Martinez, I see you."
Oh no.
Okay.
Houston.
Okay.
Houston, primo out there. Everybody out of Houston too. All the primos and primas out there. Again, not saying any names because they're gonna.
You're gonna say you forgot somebody.
If I forgot somebody, but
Yeah.
Houston, going out to Houston. Shout out to again the Tarila. Shout out to everybody in West Texas, Midland, Odessa. I'm gonna say Monahans, even though it hurts to say it, because we that was a big rivalry. But that was back in the high school, so I've got nieces over
Hey,
there.
man, but West Texas is so scarce, bro. Like
Not right now, the oil field.
Well,
I mean, it's,
I know, dude, but my thing with West Texas is, being in the Marine Corps and always coming back home to Texas on leave. We always came into El Paso and then you
driving
stay on the
through there?
10, right? And it's like Bro, there ain't shit out here,
no,
dude.
It'll go like nothing, and then there'll be a town, and then nothing again for a while, some hills, and then small little town. Yeah, no, it's
Y
all...
puro AM stations, what the?
That's back in the day, yeah. We used to listen to Coma. Remember Coma? Oh, you were too young. You were too young to remember Coma from Oklahoma.
No, Joey, you know what, man? I'm looking forward to the interview, man, because, you know, I know you personally, but I don't know you musically, right? Now, I know you musically, right? Everybody knows Joey was one of the vocalists that came from the David Lee Garza y los Musicales camp. You've done quite a bit of the reunion, right? You've done some reunion.
We did a couple. We did that one here at the Cowboys, and then a few months later we went to Billy Bob's.
Billy Bob's in Dallas.
We did that one in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So Joey, was David Lee gig? Was that your first entrance into Tejano music, or you already were?
We formed a band. Actually, the very first band that I was brought into was a band that was around in Pecos for a long time, the Challenger Band. I used to work for this principal out there, and I got picked up as a vocalist. Basically, it was kind of like the David Lee deal. They kind of had new vocalists, the same group. So I got a chance to do that. I wanted to get up on stage, and I thought, hey, I'll try it. It was fun. I mean, what I do now, I've been doing it since, for 29 years. Actually, I've been doing it longer because I was doing it in front of the mirror when I was a little kid. Nobody knew about it, now. But we had that little group, and there's some guys that played with the Challenger Band, and then we formed our own group. We had Ben Apolinar, Rudy Falcon, my brother-in-law, who ended up marrying my sister, so I wouldn't kick him out of the group. Made me baptize his oldest son, so I wouldn't kick him out of the group. Steve Alvarez, Dolphy Alvarez.
Wait a minute. Steve Guitar Alvarez?
Yeah, that guy. He's from Pecos too. They say we're all.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I know he's from West Texas, but
we've known each other since first grade. No, that's like I said, that's my boy, man. We've been together for.
Okay, now I get the whole tweet. Okay, I get it now.
Tweet came in way later. It was when I was with Rodeo. Tweet came in. That's when I met him. Yeah, he came in. Oh, he was over there winning Latin Grammys with Elida, but no, he came in later on. But no, they've always, like I said, those guys we started with Miradas there. We formed a group Miradas there in Pecos, and then I moved down here in '98, and then I got picked up by David Lee in 2000. So I did that for a year.
You got a special shout out right here, man. I'm gonna post it up here. It says, "Hi, Joey Martinez from your favorite niece in Delaware."
Big shout. Okay, that one I'm gonna pay shout out. Big shout out to the University of Delaware volleyball team, Blue Hens, that just won their conference. I believe it's CAA conference, CA whatever. They just won their conference. So conference champs out there. That's my niece. She's the head volleyball coach at University of Delaware.
Wow.
Shout out to her and her husband JP Wolfpack.
Is she Miranda Lambert's sister-in-law?
No, I don't know. I don't know if her husband's related. That's her married name. She's a Martinez. She's a Martinez, but she goes by Coach Lambert.
She didn't forget to put the Martinez Lambert.
Oh, no,
I've seen it.
She kept that. She's not going anywhere with that.
That's awesome, man.
That's what the glove is for, Zane.
So Joey, you know, in West Texas, man, what made you like growing up? What was your first style of music, man? Like, what was Tejano always in your blood, or a lot of people that come to the show, it really blows my mind. Most of them, I would say 70% of drummers and 70% of guitar players, and today is what do you call it? Musician Day.
Dia de los Músicos,
Dia del Músico, right? But 70% of them are probably rock and rollers.
I think
they love that hard rock.
Well, Tejano is, if you think about it, look at, it encompasses. It came in. It started with the Germans in this area with the accordion, along with the Mexicano. That's where the blend came
from, right?
But for me, it was growing up. Of course, my parents they were always singing around the house. My dad was a big Pedro Infante fan, so I grew up listening to Pedro Infante. I grew up listening to mariachi music, from Mexico, that style of music. Tejano music came in later. Then the music I started listening to, because since I'm next to the youngest of 8, I have my oldest brother is 19 years older than me.
You're the youngest of 8?
Next to the youngest. I have a younger brother who's a year younger.
Okay.
Shout out Rick.
Okay.
And he, so from the oldest to the youngest, there's 20 years. So I got exposed to music beginning from the 50s all the way up. And then, of course, I grew up in the 80s. So all that influenced me. It was more like R&B, all that, that's what I like when I was growing up.
Like New Edition,
Cool in the Gang, Ready for the World. I mean, oh man, all that stuff. So I grew up with that, and then Tejano music was always there. I mean, it was more like I said, the Tejano music was always there. When Sombra, the first live band I got to see was La Sombra, and the only reason I went to them, because they charged so much, was because we got invited to a quinceañera that they played at.
And they charged you in the quince?
No, I'm saying I finally got to see them, so I didn't have to pay.
Oh, gotcha, I got you.
I got to see them at a quinceañera. We saw Sombra live, we saw La Mafia live. Because back in West Texas, there wasn't a radio station. It was a radio station, but the music, they didn't play Tejano back in the day, maybe on a Sunday or something like that. They had Spanish music. But it wasn't, the exposure we got was from the groups that would come down there. So when I moved to San Antonio, they're telling me about, Bernard, Conjunto Bernal and stuff. I just learned about those in 2000 because I didn't grow up listening to that because there was no radio stations that were playing that music. It was the bands that I got to see that would come down. Little Joe, of course, Ruben Ramos, Sonny, the Sunline, all those guys that would come down. And I got to see that. And with me, I think it was more of, because being next to the youngest, my younger brother is kind of the quiet one, I guess. From the story, and I'm telling you stories that my siblings told me because I don't remember any of these stories. I was too little. Apparently, I did all the talking for my little brother. So I was like, we're only a year apart, so it's like I was the youngest in the family. The youngest always gets exposed to everything. So I got exposed to all that, and then they would throw me in front of everybody, entertain people. And then my brother was like, I bet you like that. No, I do. I mean, I don't mind getting in front of people and entertain. It doesn't bother me. I enjoy doing that. But again, I say, it's y'all's fault. Y'all pushed me out there. So then as you put me out there, so now the music's there. And then, so when we formed the group, you had guys that were listening to like Eagles and stuff like that, Chicago, and then other guys. The only one that was a straight Tejano player that was JC was the bass player. I mean, he's the one that grew up playing Tejano. But he got exposed to all this other stuff. So when we formed that group Miradas, we kind of created our own sound because it was the influence. I don't sing like a Tejano singer growing up. It was because that's not what I was exposed to. It was more of my style trying to fit in there. And at first I was kind of, maybe this is not for me because that's not me, until somebody told me, you're not that person. You're not that person. That person's not you. You be you. You do what you're going to do. And then after that, everything else
kind of came together.
It comes together, falls into place.
Man, well, it's funny you say that, right? Because that really contradicts where in a sense you got your fame, your name to fame, or como se dice, your fame came from coming and being a part of one of, if not the greatest Tejano bands of all time, David y Garza Los Musicales. You had a lot of names to live up to, bro.
That was, not as much as the guys now.
You can't really just be yourself.
Not as much as the guys now, but even then, I came up after Marcos. You already had Emilio Ram, Oscar G. You already had Jay, and then Marcos, and then I come in right, after Marcos came in. So it was, for me, it was, I couldn't, the pressure, I think I put the pressure on myself more than they did. But it was good because now when I get into the studio, every time I get into the studio and working with Eddie Perez, this last CD that we're doing, I go in there and a switch comes on because it's like, oh, no, I have to be serious. Like, I like to joke around, but when I'm in the studio, it's like, no, get serious because you have to, because that's the way it was. When you play with like the Musicales, you got those guys. I hit the ground running. Those guys have been doing it for years already. I had to come in at that level. It was tough. But it was, and plus it was I think I had just started my 6th or 7th year of teaching. I was teaching PE at the time. So I would do PE all week. And then on Thursday, we'd go play in Austin, come back. I'd go to work Friday morning. Then they'd pick me up on the way. We'd play, Houston, Dallas, whatever it was. And one time, I think, we ended up playing like Laredo on a Sunday night. Then I had to go back to work on Monday. And people would always tell me, man, how can you do that? Of course, I was in my 30s. That wasn't bad. You can do that. But for me, I was going to go into coaching. The coaches do more than what I was doing. At least those guys are working all week long. They're there Friday night, and then they're breaking down film Saturday and Sunday, and then they start back up there on Monday. So it wasn't anything that again, it prepared me. I was ready to do the coaching thing, and then the music just took over. I just enjoyed it. I would get off, like I tell people, I said, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I get off the stage, but I wouldn't leave the dance hall. And so here I am back again, let's get back in the studio and do another CD.
It's funny you say that, man, is because last Friday, I got invited by Joey and David Lee to go on a musicales run, on a little what do you call it run, and for me it was an honor. One, right, just to be around those guys.
You got to ride in the bus or no?
I got to ride in the bus. Two, like there was parts where nobody was talking and we were just kind of just chilling. And I was just absorbing, like, dude, I'm riding on the bus of David Ligaza, Los Musicales, on my way to Laredo, right? But they're just down to earth guys, bro. At the end of the day, like if you don't know the Musical, you know, Dickie and Adam and Dave, like they're just down to earth Tejanos, bro. You know what I mean? Just that's their profession. Is that, and that's not even. You know, some guys they got their normal jobs.
Oh, yeah, everybody.
You know, a lot of people don't know Adam's a deacon. Adam's a Catholic deacon. So you know they're at mass on Sundays after playing on West Texas on Saturday night. They find a way to make it to mass.
We would pray
on Sunday,
every time we
man.
leave on the weekend. We'd pray the rosary on the way out on the weekend. So I mean, we'd come up to the front of the bus. We'd pray the rosary. So I mean, it was always. I think that's part. You know, and I think that's why we were safe. You know, every time we get up on the road. But again, those guys, those are the ones that taught me. You know how to be. There's a lot of people in my family, you know, that taught me how to be humble. You know, as far as appreciate what it is. You know, you don't need to brag about yourself. You don't need to let other people do it. People are gonna talk anyway. Let them talk, good or bad. Just do what you're gonna do. Those guys, like I said, they kept me in check. But even before that, with Miradas, you know, my kids, they're the ones that kept me humble too. Because on stage, I could do whatever I wanted to. But you get off stage and you go home, you're dad again. You're just, hey, you're not that guy. Not until they got to junior high, and then their friends started saying, "Hey, is your dad the one that's?" And all of a sudden, "Oh, Dad, that's you." But no, but it's not. It for me, it was always the Musicales was the ones that, like I said, they set. For me, they set the standard. So I knew that I had to be at that level. I had to be a professional. I don't drink with Miraz. We didn't drink on stage. Every once in a while, don't get me wrong, I drink. Y'all know I drink.
I asked some guys. You guys, on Wacky Wednesday we drink sometimes a little bit, sometimes a lot.
But he said beer. I wanted tequila. He didn't offer tequila. But no, like I'll drink at a gig, but. Oh, there you go. The thing is that
you talk too fast. I'll make stuff appear, Joey.
Like I'll drink, but like on stage, it was more like you have to be professional out there, because if it gets to the point that people are paying to see a show, and if you go out there all drunk or messed up, it's hard enough doing it. If you're sick, and I tell people, no, I can't drink. It's hard enough to remember the lyrics sober. Now you're gonna have me drinking. I don't want to forget the songs. That's the main thing. But.
I got you. But. Where I was going with that, and you saying you were coaching and singing, fans don't really get. You really don't know what it takes to be a musical. Like I'm telling you right now, I told David, I told Joey, I got off that bus at 5 o'clock in the morning, and guys think Laredo's really not that far from San Antonio.
3 hours,
right? But you get home at 5 in the morning, and then if you don't live in Poteet, well, then you got to drive from Poteet back to San Antonio. That's another hour.
I had to drive to San Marcos.
Right. Well, there you go. That's another 45 minutes to an hour to get there. So you get there, you get a few hours of sleep, and then you got to, you're a family man. You got to get up, breakfast, whatever. So, yeah, that life is not for me, even though I know sometimes it seems like, damn, Bump, you're always out and about. Yeah, I am. But I come home when I'm ready, not when you get off the stage and then still got to drive back to whatever town, for the Musicales Poteet. So it was cool.
Yeah, people think that it's
fun.
A lifestyle for everybody. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I tell people, and I've told myself, if I'm up on stage, when I was Grupo Rodeo, we went to, on a New Year's Eve gig, we went to Kansas. We drove like 14 hours. We're on stage for 2 hours, spent the night, and then drove back 14 hours. We went all the way to Michigan. So it was 26 hours straight, one shot, to play 1 hour at this place and 2 hours at a club, 3 hours total to turn around and come back. And I've always said, when I get up on stage, I forget all that. It's not about, oh man, we just drove. If I'm thinking about the drive back or the drive over there and all this stuff, then it's time for me to get off. It's fun when you're doing it, but at the same time, there's people that, we're all human. You get a fan that's been waiting there, and you don't realize, yeah, you're tired, but it's still about the fans. You still have to enjoy that. They're the reason why you're there. I don't mind signing an autograph. I don't mind taking pictures. You're not gonna bother me. You can come ask me. Please come ask me. Nobody's asked me. No. You can ask me for an autograph, for a picture. I don't mind. You know, I think the best compliment I got was during COVID. I was coming out of a gas station. I had on my mask, shades, and a cap. And I don't know who this guy was. I'm sorry if I don't remember. I mean, if I see him, I'll remember him, but I remember his name. As I'm walking, I'm holding the door. He goes, Joey? And he goes, oh, bro, I just this. And he's like, already, like, what the heck? Like, he recognized me.
2020.
Yeah, they go, yeah. I started saying, like, okay, cool. I mean, it's cool to get recognized. I don't mind the fans. So I'm never going to be, if you catch me on a bad day, something's really going on. Like I said, I try not to, I'll stay away from people, you know, if I'm not the type of person that says, oh, don't talk to me because no. If I'm out there, I'm out there. I'm having a good time. You can talk to me. I'll try not to be a jerk. And if I come across like that, it's probably I'm thinking about something else.
I'm the opposite. When I walk in, they hand me a mop or a broom. Like, hey, bro, the closet's over here. Like,
take it.
No, man. So I was telling Dave. I'm like, Dave. I mean, I don't know. He's got to be over 50 years.
Who?
David Lee of traveling like that.
Oh, well, I mean, we celebrated the 50th. A couple, was that right before COVID?
So there you go, 53,
so they've been doing 54, maybe 55 now.
55 years of living that life, man. Shit, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I can. So to the fans who watch the show, you guys love the insights of the stories of the artists. I'm gonna tell you, I got to live it just one night, and that lifestyle's not for me, bro. I like for me.
I was only with him a year, so it took about 6 months to even try to figure out because. Everybody, I think the guy, the John and Danny, guitar and the keyboard player, I think at that time they might have been with the group. It was less than 4 years they were with the group. So I kind of, hanging out with them a little bit. Everybody has like a routine. So you're on the bus and I'm sitting there. Most of the time I'm sitting there just kind of looking around. Everybody has their own thing to do and it's quiet. It's not like all hype and party. No, it's not like in the movies. It's not. Because one,
he said it, not me. But it was cool because it's like, it's funny because they'd be like, hey, pee break. So the driver pulls over, everybody gets off, buys their snacks, comes back on, sits down on the bus, and we had great conversation. It was cool.
It's fun.
For me, it was cool. You mentioned Austin earlier. I know there's a lot of Austin people watching. Shout out to
Chris Tristan,
Tejano man.
What's up, kitty?
There was another guy on here. Let's see. I gotta go back up and find him. Tommy Solis.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Tommy Solis, he's like, hey, Woody. Lots of fun memories during the Musicales days.
That was back in the days, Woody.
Much love from Austin, man. So Joey, Miradas, right? Let's talk a little about Miradas.
Miradas, like I said, was when we started that group, friends of ours, guys growing up in Pecos, we started that back in 93. And then...
1993?
93. Like I said, my son was... Diferencia had just come. I mean, Diferencia was hit pretty hard at that time. And we had an opportunity actually to come down here with... to move to San Antonio. We didn't. But we were playing, like I say, we're playing around the area. We're doing a lot, gigs for those 2 years. And the first guy to move away, Ben, it was me and Ben were kind of the lead vocalist, Ben Apolinar, who's written a lot of the songs for Miradas. He moved to Texas City. And then again, another opportunity. Like I had that crutch, so I had somebody there with me. So I was like forced, now you're the front man, get out there. So we started doing that. And then in 98, I moved down to San Marcos. Was teaching up there. And there for a couple of years, had an opportunity. I met this family, it's the Cervantes family, Sissy and Charlie. Shout out there in San Marcos. They were real good friends with Emilio. And then they listening to that family, they kind of, hey man, Marcos is leaving. I'm like, and I didn't know him well enough to think, usually by the time it gets out, and it's not like right now with social media, everything comes out, it's right there. Back then it was, okay, yeah, Marcos is leaving. I'm like,
you kind of heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah, I heard it through the grapevine. I'm like, man, it's probably already out there. They probably already have somebody. And then come to find out that no, they actually had the end. Like, no, Marcos is leaving. Okay, cool. So I had a CD that I had done with Miguel Spindola. In fact, I think he lives right down the street over here too, Miguel. With La Diferencia. I did a little demo with him, and I sent it in to David Lee, and then Dickie called me. I want to say I think it was July 4th of 2000. I got a call. They wanted me to come in. I went and met with them. July 4th, the week before. I had met with them. July 4th is when they called me and said I had the gig. But David Lee, hey, why don't you come with us this weekend just to kind of, pa que me la onda, that's what he said. I was there to observe. That was my job, to see what they were doing. And I'm listening to the music. I'm going, oh shoot, wait a minute. They play that song different live, so I got to learn that song this way instead of that's not like the way the CDs played it. So I'm doing all this stuff, and then coming to find out that no, they were actually seeing how I was gonna act, and I wasn't in there signing autographs. I was just in the buzz, like in the background, just right there, just trying to blend in. And then when I got back, I did the audition. I sang some songs with the guys, and then they called me on July 4th and said, okay, you're in. And then I was supposed to go to Cancun for a week. They wanted me to start playing already. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna take the music. I'm gonna learn it. Oh, okay. Oh, David Lee said, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'll meet on the 21st. So July 21st, on my nephew Andy Rodriguez's birthday, it was 2000. I think there was a club here in San Antonio. The first time I got up on
What was the
stage.
name?
T2000.
Was that the one on the hill on San Pedro?
Around the mall, North Park Mall. I don't know. See, I was from San Marcos, so I would just drive in and.
Hey, Tejano fans from San Antonio. I didn't live here back then.
T2000.
I want to say that was the one or T-Town. That was the one that's up on the hill off of San Pedro, right behind North Star Mall.
It might be around I know it was around North Star Mall area. So we did that, and then that was the first time I got up on stage with them. But it was.
And how was how do you remember, man? Was your heart pounding?
Oh, my heart was pounding. It was all, and I just remember them saying. There was one guy that was in the crowd, and you see him coming. I see the roadies kind of coming in like this, because I see this one guy doing this, flipping me off, and getting closer and closer. And they're like, "What the heck's going on?" They come to the front. That was a buddy of mine, Adolf Ortiz, over there out of Austin. Hey man, I think good. He shook my hand like, oh. But everybody's looking like, oh shoot, who's this guy coming up? Like he's about to cause some problems.
Wowie, he said, yeah, it's T-Town. I was on the hill.
Oh, that's what
that's
it.
Okay.
Wowie would know.
Y luego, so I mean, dude, about to walk on stage with the greatest Tejano band of all time, right?
Yeah,
it's up for it's one of my favorites Tejano bands of all time. Everybody has a different opinion, but for me, it's one of the greatest Tejano bands of all time. And here's Joey Martinez about to walk on stage.
Who's this guy? Like, and again, it's before social media. There's no Facebook, there's no pictures, there's no nothing out there. They're trying to know.
So people think it's supposed to be Marcos.
Well, now they know it's a new guy, but who's the new guy that they're going? I mean, the CD, we're in the studio finishing up this, just started the CD, that 2020, that was released, I believe, I think it was August 14th is when it was released, either August or November. So we had, no, it was November 14th, I believe. So we were, up on stage, like I said, nobody knew who I was. They had to come see us live to see who this new guy was, and they start getting pictures. There's no Facebook, there's no nothing. Cause I remember one time it was me and Danny. Danny probably remember this. We were in Colorado playing at some state fair or something in Colorado, and Jay Pettis was playing before, and we were there talking. There was these 3 girls sitting in front, like a VIP section. So me and Danny came from backstage. We sat next to him, and then one of the girls was real nice. The other one was real quiet. The third one was like real rude. We're here to see David Lee. We don't. Can you guys please, like, she finally like cut us off, and Danny was like, oh, okay, we want to see the new singer. That's what they're saying. And Danny, we just started laughing. Then we walked off and went backstage, and then it's this huge stage. So when they called and I come out, and then Danny's looking right at them like that. Hey girls, like that, and they were they're all pointing. The one girl that was the rudest was the one that was just sitting there with her arms crossed, her head down. The quiet one was like, "That's him. Those are the guys we were talking to."
Hell yeah, that's badass right there.
It was a good thing because they didn't know what to expect. For me, the toughest one was, like I said, I joined the group July 21st, and then my mom passed away August 12th, and she passed away that morning. We had a gig. I played in Alvin, Texas, because she was in Houston at the hospital. On August 11th, and then we drove all night, and then we were supposed to play with La Mafia in Six Flags at about 2:00 in the afternoon. So I did that gig. That was probably one of the toughest gigs I had to do, but it was like I was there, but when I
so your mom already had passed?
My mom passed away that morning. She had been sick. She was in the hospital since she got diagnosed. Well, I say diagnosed. She had cancer, and then when they were just supposed to do like a hysterectomy and stuff, and then when they cut her open, it was on the stomach lining. They didn't know it was on the stomach lining. So she passed away August 12th. She never got to see me perform with David Lee, but the whole time when I would call and I would talk to her, he goes, "Oh no," I said, "Oh mom," I said, they pray the rose. "Oh no, good me." She was all, so she was excited that I was doing that. But so that I got to do that, and like I said, and it was tough. So here I am for about 6 months. I'm away from my family, still trying to cope with that. the guys are doing their own thing, so I'm kind of, you know, so it was tough for that first 6 months, for that first year with David Lee. It was emotionally for me, you know, it was hard, but what made it good, what made it better was getting up on stage and performing, because that's what my dad told me right there, right before that Friday night before my mom passed away, I had that gig. You know, he told me, hey, you know, it's he goes, I never performed professionally. He goes, but you got to make the people around you happy. They turn around and make you happy, so you got to go play. Like that's. And then my sister's telling me that night that when they told my mom that, hey, you know, that we got to make you comfortable. There's nothing more we can do. And my sister's telling me the conversation was, pues José no va a querer cantar, like that. And my mom was like, no, you tell him que tiene que cantar. So it was like, I had to do it. Like there was no choice at that point.
That's what your mom ordered you to do.
I had to do it. I mean, it was like, okay, so I did it. But that's where I find the solitude, the my right there when I get up on stage from that mic. Everything else goes. I don't see anything else but just the fans and me singing. I forget about everything else. I have to. Otherwise, it's not. Now, there are some gigs that we do when there's songs that I've done over and over again, and I'm at a bar and I'm trying to watch the World Series on the screen, and I'm singing the song, and I'm actually singing it automatic. I'm like automatic pilot, but I'm watching the game. But it's me, like I said, enjoying that when I step away from it. But it also helped. Again, you got to get hurt to be able to write songs, and that helped me write the music for the song. When my dad, I'm trying not to make this depressing. Well, my dad passed away in February 18th of 2013, 13 years after my mom passed away. In January, when they told me he had cancer, so he turned to my sister and said, bueno, se me acabó el corrido. So 5 years later, I wrote a song, you know, about that, se me acabó el corrido. So it's tough. Like I couldn't write music before. I don't consider myself a songwriter by any means, but I can write a song. But it's trying to put myself in those situations to be able to write the music. But it was tough, like I said, getting up for those 6 months. That was the hardest one right there with David. I mean, with the opening up for Mafia and Six Flags on the day of that my mom just passed away that morning. But
so you spent 12 months with David Lee?
About 12 months, yeah.
12 months, and what made it come to an end?
I think it was a combination of a lot of things, but the main thing was like I was working at the time, and at that time, and I told him, if you can find somebody, go ahead. You know, if you're gonna get somebody else, that's fine. I think my vocals, come to find out later, it's the first time I'm gonna tell the story live. No, it was my vocals. Sometimes, you know, I don't get nervous or something like that. The nerves, I don't know what it was. Emotion, it would just get to me. I didn't feel like I was singing okay or singing it right. And then they were turning down gigs. Like they couldn't do certain gigs because I wasn't available during the week. So after a while, kind of, you know what, if you can find somebody.
It adds up.
And they couldn't pay me. Like I could tell myself, I'll quit my job. And David's like, no, don't do that because this is not steady work. Even though it was steadier back then than it is now. I mean, we were gigging every weekend.
Yeah.
I know for sure we were doing at least 2. It took me probably about 6 months in when I finally had my first Friday off. But I know we were gigging for sure once a month. We're doing at least like 4 days, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Most of the time we're doing at least 2 every weekend. He's like, no, I can't afford to pay you, you know, to make up the difference.
Yeah.
You know, with your job, you know, you have that job. I'm like, no, okay, that's fine. So, and that's when they found Mark. And actually they had picked up Mark, and then 3 weeks later they called me. I helped them out for a weekend. Because 2 weekends, Mark was in California. I think California. Mark was away. He couldn't come back. So I came back and played with him another 2 weeks. 3 weeks after I was done, when they picked up Mark, I helped him out. Like,
and we're talking about Markel from Ledesma.
Markel. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Ledez out there.
Yeah, Ledez. If you guys are tuning in. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. My guest, Mr. Joey Martinez. Las Miradas, yes, it's the Joey Martinez.
Just Miradas.
No, my bad.
No, that's cool.
Las Miradas, because of Gary Hobbs, right? But,
yes.
Just Miradas. Don't F it up, Bumper. Just Miradas.
Just Miradas.
But also, you know, you got to play with David Lee. A lot of people, Joey, you brought something up that I love to talk about, man. A lot of people don't realize how much Tejano artists have normal jobs. You know, a lot of people think that they're just musicians and that's all they do. They don't realize that a lot of them have normal jobs just like us. You know what I mean? And you know, it takes a toll. It's hard. You know, at the end of the day, you got to remember that I would tell you most artists probably do it more, not for the money, but they do it for the love of music because they're musicians, man. You know what I mean? They love to sing. They love to perform. They love to play their instruments, whatever the case may be. They just love to do that. So, you know, I admire that. To me, like, the more that I hang out in the industry, the more that I learn, I'm trying to soak up as much as I can. You know what I mean? And when I get to talk to somebody like yourself or you know, any artist, hey man, what do you do? Like, dude, you were a principal.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
Assistant principal. I started off with a teacher.
He was a principal at my son's school, you know, last year. So we would have that connection. We would talk music all the time. But the fact is, like, that's a huge responsibility, being a principal or vice principal of any kind of school. You know what I mean?
But you know what? It kept me, because I've been doing music as long as I started teaching in '94, the first year that I got up on stage. The good thing about that is that, because when you work in education, you're on the clock. I don't care what people say, or whatever. No, you're a professional. You have to be.
Right.
24, whether you're never, if you're drinking on public and doing some pendejadas, you're going to get caught, and then you're going to get called to HR, you know, on Monday.
Well, that's what I don't get, dude. Like, you can't.
But it kept me in check. That's what I'm saying. You never saw me holding, when I was there, you know, growing up, you know, I say growing up, but when we first came out with Miradas, you never saw me with a beer can or a drink in my hand. It was always in a solo cup over here away from me.
Oh, that's why you didn't want a beer.
Because there's always people watching, and the kids are always watching. And then, now the clubs were different. You know, people say, well, what happens at the club? I'm like, if the parents are in the club, they're cool. I mean, I'm not going to run into my students at the clubs. But the parents, if I run into parents, they're out there having a good time too. I mean, it's not.
Oh, student.
So it kept me in check. It helped me, again, like I said, all the influence, you know, it kept me humble. It kept me in check. It kept me from doing dumb stuff. You know, even now there's cameras everywhere, so you got to watch what you're doing, because people are always got cameras on you. So it prepared me for now. You know, it was always, I was always on the clock. Oh, shout out to the #1 fan there in Odessa. But it was a good thing, like I said, to start off. But at the same time, like you said, it takes the guys that are doing it full time. Hey, that's all. I have all the respect in the world. I don't take away from any of those guys that are doing it full time. I wish I could do it full time. I probably could. You know, I'm retired now. I could probably do it full time and start doing. But it's more. I think for me, I'm getting enough of it as I can for right now. If I do more, I think I would burn out. But that's just, I know me. I think if I were to do too much of it, I think it would get to the point where it would turn into a business, and it would turn into work.
And you wouldn't want to do it anymore.
And it wouldn't be fun anymore. It would just be, I'm just doing it for the paycheck. And that, I don't, that's not me.
No, for sure, man. For sure. I
don't mind the money. Don't get me wrong. My wife would love, you know, the money. I just give it to her. So, but that's not what it's about.
That's not how it works.
No.
That's not how it works. Saludos. Let's go to the chat room a little bit. Saludos to Nilda Cuellar watching on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Sissy Cervantes watching from San Marcos. My good friend Josh DeLuna. Josh, we'll talk about Josh here in a few minutes. Ashley Rodriguez, Ronnie Saldana, Kathy and David Silva, Jose Javier Cepeda. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Mr. Juan and Tina Prieto, thanks for tuning in. Daniel Torres, my good friend, Mr. Roger Aguilar. Wowie, ¿qué hubo, Wowie? If you guys haven't stopped at Wowie's in Poteet, make sure. I don't know if he's open for. I'm sure he's not going to be open tomorrow.
All the time.
But he has some badass.
Oh no, he won't be open tomorrow. If he is, he'll probably have like a turkey flavored snow cone. Or
turkey. Hey, all the grease, all the grease in the turkey. You put it on put it on some ice.
Would it be jerky?
Oh man. But Joey, you know what's cool, dude, is that the musicales, even that you were just with them 12 months. You have that under your belt. That's a notch you have on your belt, and people will always remember you for that. Like Ralph, I'm just using Ralph Pacina for example. The minute I posted
that guy's keeping me alive right there.
The minute I posted that you were on there, boom, he's one of the first who's like, hey, 2020. I'm like, right away, he was all about that. You know what I mean? He wrote on there because he knows about every one of the vocalists.
Oh no, that guy knows. Yeah, there's some real true fans out there. And shout out to Cesar out there doing his thing.
Yes, that's how he was singing. He was singing yesterday evening. I gave him a shout out. He was out there making some Cash App bucks right there, singing that karaoke. Joey, what are some things that you do, bro? Besides music, man, and besides teaching and being principals and stuff like that. Like, what do you like to do, bro?
Honestly, I mean, I probably should work out more. I got a lot of time. Probably at least I try to walk. No, I don't. I mean, the music. I think the music comes. I mean, it's always there. It's around. I mean, I'm always thinking about music. I like watching TV. I like going to the movies. My wife, we hang out, going on vacation, hanging out at the beach. All the normal stuff that everybody else likes. But to me, music is always like I'm listening to see. Sometimes somebody will say something, and I get an idea. And I'll type it. Oh, okay. That I got to remember that line. Yeah. That's how I write music. I listen to other people and how the way they say things. If I see something, it comes to mind. So in my head, I'm always singing. The music is always there. So I don't think that's something that's a part of me. But that kind of if I can do it singing,
thinking music.
If I can do it, everything I'm doing singing. If I'm in the restroom, I'm singing. That they're going. It helps with the bowel movements.
That's cool.
Are we going there? No. It helps you relax.
Hell no.
Helps you relax. Because you gotta be relaxed. You're all tense.
That's what you gotta do. Well, I'm gonna go tonight. I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah.
Las miradas. We'll see. We'll fight it. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
It's the right song. You gotta get the right song though. It's gotta be one that relaxes you, not one that's.
Oh man. Somebody had. So, do you have a connection to the Marine Corps?
I've worked. When I was growing up, we had you take that test, the ASVAB. The ASVAB, and apparently me and my buddy scored really high on it, and so I had the recruiters coming in. Me and my buddy Philly, they were taking us out to eat. The Navy, I want to say every branch took us out at least once. And
the Marine Corps don't take you to eat.
No, every branch took us out once. The Marine Corps didn't, but every branch took us out once. The Navy took us out twice, and I kept telling them we're going to school. And at that time, me and my buddy Philly, it's us. We released a song back in 87, 88, right around there that we wrote a song called Gotta Know. You're not going to find it anywhere on Spotify. I'm going to re-record it one of these days.
What was the name of the song?
Gotta Know.
Gotta Know?
Yeah, that was, it's...
R&B?
Yeah, me and my buddy Philly wrote that and released it. We went to the recording studio, recorded it, got it out. We actually had airplay. We didn't know at the time. We found out way later from a DJ. I made a DJ back in West Texas. They wouldn't, because we didn't have the code. There's certain things you got to put in place to be able to play music back then. And the guy stopped playing it. It was like you could hear. We had regular rotation. I mean, it was playing. And then coming to find out later that we're getting calls. Of course, they were calling my buddy's house because that's the information they had. He told me, like, I want to say maybe 8 years ago, that we're growing up, they wanted us to open up like for bands that were coming down. And he kept saying, we don't have a band. We're just, all we did was two guys went in the studio, recorded a song, and released it, and we're getting airplay. We didn't know. So all that, now I forgot what I was talking about.
You're talking about the Marine Corps.
Yeah, okay. So the Marine, see, so I'm talking about, that's why this guy's here. So we had, again, they would say, and we say, hey, we're going to go, oh, no, you want to do music? We've got the Navy band, we've got the Army band, and we're not doing it until my dad said, yeah, like, I said, Pop, dígales que no. I'm telling them, but they keep wanting to take us out to eat. And he got mad at me. He said, don't stop going. If you're not going to go to the military, then don't tell them. I said, I've told them I'm going to college. So the Marines was always one thing, especially my senior year when Bobby Valle went to the Marines, and he comes back, my senior, like a year later, he's a year older than me. He comes back, and I see some dude out there running. Man, who's that? That's Bobby. Like, I mean, he was like, this dude was, I don't know what you guys do. I mean, Bobby was an athlete, but I mean, when he came back, this dude was all cut. I'm like, man, I want to be a Marine. And then I didn't. But then later on, when I moved to San Marcos, I was working with a guy. He was the hall monitor, Musquis, Richard Musquis, gunnery sergeant out there in the Marine. And he'd go down the hallway. He was a hall monitor, and I'd see him, and I would stick my head out the door. And and every time he was in a hurry, he'd walk by my room, and he'd zip right by, and I'd jump by, and I would start singing, from the halls up, and he would stand at attention. Come on, coach, because I used to do PE. Come on, coach, I'm in a hurry. So I started hanging around that guy, and then I went to Southside. There was another Marine that I worked with, though. I mean, so I've worked with Marines. Justin Ramirez, the drummer, like I said, those guys. You guys have a certain. Some of y'all a little bit crazier than others, but still, when it comes down to, I got your six. Those are the guys I can depend on. Those guys. So I kind of feel like I said I'm more. I don't want to say I'm more attractive to Marines, but
Be
But I
careful
am.
with those words,
But I am.
especially on a show like Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, bro.
The Marine, and nothing against the Army guys, David Carrasco out there, nothing against those Army guys or the Navy guys. I mean, of course, the Navy gives you guys a right. And I heard what you said, y'all are the men's department.
Yeah.
I get all that. But it's the Marines have always been, like I said, for some reason, I've got uncles that were in the Army. For some reason, I don't know, the Marines are always, those guys they've been fun. They've been fun to hang
Somebody
around
was asking me, Jose Javier Cepeda Sr., what year were you in the United States Marine Corps? What years I was in? I was in from 1994 until the very end of 2014. So 21. It was
21 years?
12 plus some change. 20 plus some change. So yeah, just a little bit of time. But we were talking about this today. I'm not one of those guys that like, if you didn't know me personally, Marine Corps, like,
Yeah, no, you're not walking around like I can tell the Marines.
but I still have have the way I carry myself is still Marine, but I'm just like, you won't see me wearing like, hey, I was a Marine for 20 years.
Across your chest.
Like that chapter closed. And,
Hoorah.
I'm doing.
Semper Fi,
Now we're doing
stuff.
podcasts, right? You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. I still love the fact that
that's
I'm
what
always
saying.
going to be a Marine.
I've worked with Marines, and I can tell a Marine, especially telling the military, oh, you're a Marine or you're Navy, whatever it was. I can do that, Air Force. But with you, I didn't know. Not until I saw these. I'm like, wait a minute. When I saw some of the Wacky Wednesday, I'm like, wait a minute. That's why I asked you, were you a Marine? Man? He goes, yeah, dude. I didn't know you were a Marine.
Yeah, no,
normally, like
I don't
said,
really. I try not to. It ain't my.
And it's not. And you're a retired Marine, but you're never a former. When I made that mistake, I got corrected. No former. Once a Marine,
always a Marine.
So you never say, "Oh, the former Marine."
Un saludos and a happy anniversary to some good friends of the show, Irene and Jojo Herrera. Happy wedding anniversary. I don't know how many years. Maybe it's been 10, 15, 12. I don't know. It's got to be longer than that. But happy anniversary. Thank you guys for always supporting the show. And dude, this weekend, man, they had the Weekend Warriors. They did a good job, man. Sunday they had that toy drive. They got a lot of toys. They made a lot of money. The toys for Tejanitos. It was a good cause, man.
I think Moneda was there, Angelica.
Yeah, Moneda was there. But I'm going to reach out to you. This is the second time we've ever said it on the show. I'm going to reach out to you with maybe for some of your contacts. But 33 years, Tejano. God,
33 years married.
That's a long. Little Larry Bird.
It's like 33 minutes underwater.
Watch out, JoJo. Watch out. But no, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, man. Because of these guys, I said, you know what? I help everybody out. I want to do something as a show like that I can call myself my own fundraiser that I can do for whoever. And I remember as a kid, one of the things that was, growing up, not having the most money in the world, but one of the hardest things, especially if you have a lot of siblings, is a brand new pair of decent shoes for school. You know what I mean? Like
one pair, and
one pair.
The whole year.
I mean, but a nice pair. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
and it was
good
hard.
pair, yeah.
I mean, you got 4 or 5 kids, and back then, a $40, $45, $50 pair of shoes, that's a lot of money, dude. $200 is a lot of money. That was rent.
Especially if you have more than one kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday is going to start, and I'm not really going to push hard about it, but I just want to keep throwing it out there. We are going to do a fundraiser where we collect new shoes for the less fortunate, and we're going to give them out when school starts, right before school starts. When kids are going back to school, and maybe help out some parents that, just take that little burden off their back. Like, hey, man, here's a nice little pair of Nikes. I mean, they're not going to be Jordan and Dunk Lows, right? But, hey, they're going to be a nice pair of shoes. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that. Bumpers Wacky Wednesday shoe drive. I don't know what exactly name we'll call it. But, yeah, it's going to be cool.
Shoe drive. He's going to call it shoe drive.
Tweet Juarez says, ask Joey about a rodeo days.
Sigues.
Well, Tweet, that goes in the next. Hey,
Tweet,
who's running the show here, bro? Me or you, bro? I got this in my head. See,
Can we block him?
Let's block. I think we need to block him, bro.
Tweety, what they going? I know Angelica was mad yesterday. I don't know who she was mad at yesterday. I had to text Tweety. I'm like, hey, bro, I feel attacked. Is she talking about me? What is she upset about?
I don't read into all that. I'm a positive
attacked.
guy, bro. I'm a positive guy.
No, rodeo days were fun. Rodeo days were fun. Again, Panchito's another shout out to Panchito Villarreal Jr. out there. That's again, you have David Lee and a certain type of the way they run things, and then the way Panchito runs things, and then so I take from hey, that works for me, and then when I have my own group, now I can say, okay, I like this. Not that I didn't like what I said. I know this works for me, and I can do this here. Pachito was another one too. That guy was. You had to.
She was talking about you.
Who's that?
Angelica.
I know she was. I felt it.
That's what tweet said.
I felt
it.
But
we're going to talk about Rodeo. We're going to talk about, I'm going to leave this in the back of your head, Tejano guns.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that right here on the next hour. But in the time being, I got to give my people some shout outs, man. Shout out to a good friend of mine, Mr. Gilbert Aleman, Gibster, 832-546-5856. Bumper, what does he do? I just see a name and a number. The name Gibster. Gibby is one of the top guys when it comes to apparel, when it comes to merchandise, caps, coasters, koozies, T-shirts, sweatshirt, you name it, this dude can make it. Hit him up, 832-546-5856. Let him know that Bumper sent you. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, he can probably beat any price you have right now with your T-shirts. I promise you, the guy will give you a great deal, man. So make sure you hit him up. Again, let him know Bumper sent you. And then, of course, one of the oldest sponsors, diehard sponsor of Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. You ever met this guy?
I don't think I have.
Dude,
wasn't it Ricky Ray?
Yeah, Ricky Ray, the realtor, man. 956-424-5724. Joey, but the greatest thing about it is when I get a message like, Bump, thank you so much. Another person from your show is buying a home. Bump, thank you so much. Another person from your show is buying a home. Dude, it means a lot to me that you guys are continuing.
Dancer? He looks sexy.
Huh?
Well,
he's a saxophone player. He played with La 45.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
The Cumbia Kings. He's an awesome guy.
He's got a sexy thing about him.
Hit him up, man. 956-424-5724. If you're really cool, you can rewind the show later once it posts. Take a picture of the QR code, and it'll take you to all his information, man. And then after you buy your house, you want somebody beautiful to come over? Not that your spouse is not beautiful, but if you buy a brand new home, right?
You got to protect it.
You got to protect it, dude. And not only you got to protect it, when this hot ass sun down here in Texas, you want to have a little bit cheaper electric bill. You got to hit up my girl, Di Marie, for Vivint Smart Home. She can take care of your solar panel needs and all your security needs. So if you think the Sancho's coming over, or for you ladies, you think the Sancho might be creeping around or cruising by, put as many cameras as you want. Hit up Di. She can take care of you. 210-837-8623. That's 210-837-8623.
Di Marie, that sounds familiar.
Di Marie, the vocalist. Yes. Come on, man.
Come on.
And we were speaking in the Marine Corps. We were speaking about veterans, right? My good friend, retired Marine Corps Sergeant Major Oscar Ornelas, just for veterans. If you got an uncle, you got a dad, maybe it's yourself. You got a VA disability claim that you're not happy with. You don't know where to turn to. You don't know what to do. This is the guy that you call that will give you all the answers that you need. He speaks the lingo. He's an amazing, amazing guy. He can guide you in the right direction. Make sure you hit him up at 951-388-4072. That's 951-388-4072. And also, Bumper's Wacky Wednesday fans have also been keeping this gentleman very busy. So that makes me feel good that a lot of veterans are out there watching. So make sure you let him know that Bumper sent you. He'll take care of you. I promise you he will take care of you. And then, Joey, I don't know if you do this.
What do I do?
But my good friend Joe Almaguer, right? Percussionist. Bam, bam, bam.
I was supposed to be a percussionist.
Okay, well, Joe Almaguer is one of the best percussionists you find. He dibble-dabbles with a lot of bands. But not only that, what he's really good at, man, is he's a social media specialist. The word I always use is algorithm, right? A lot of people don't know the word algorithm.
Yeah, you say it to me a lot.
Yeah, so algorithm is what keeps you on top of everybody. Why do you always see the same people on top of your social media feeds? There's a reason, because they figured out the algorithm. And this is what Joe does. So if you own a small business, if you're a band just getting started, you got a single out there, whatever you want attention to, you got to hit up Joe, 956-693-9035. I promise you, he will put you on top of all the social media feeds. And the reason I say that is because he works for the best. And I put an exclamation point. He works for one of the, if not the best bands in our genre, in regional Mexican genre, that is out there today. He is their man, right? So it's unprofessional me to say the band, but he's out there. He's doing it. Hit him up, 956-693-9035. Again, if you own a small business, dude, if you just want to be, I don't know, you want to be chocante and be on top of things, I don't know. Hit him Joe, dude. He'll spin your stuff for you. But you got to make sure you let him know that Bumper sent you, man, right? Make sure you let him know that Bumper sent you. And then, after we were all sluggish all weekend, I had this done, bro. You got to get this done, bro. IV NutriDrip. They're going to be here in a couple of weeks. They're going to do a live right here with one of my guests and myself show. We're going to show you guys how it works. But IV NutriDrip here in San Antonio, call them, right? 210-426-8306. Let them know that Bumper sent you, and they're going to give you a $50 off your visit. Right, $50 is a lot of money off of what they offer. They offer the NutriDrip system where you get like all these vitamins and stuff. They put them in an IV. You sit down and relax, and you feel like $1 million. I promise you,
straight in the vein.
Man, listen to me. You will feel, if you're over the age of 40, you will feel like $1 million.
Red.
You know what I mean? You'll feel like $1 million. I promise you.
Is that what they do in
Hit
Vegas?
them up.
All the stuff they do in Vegas? Is that what they do when you go to Vegas?
They have the hangover things. They have all that. And our newest sponsor, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, good friend of mine, the beautiful Miss Stephanie, sparklewithsteffi.com. If you guys have never seen some awesome jewelry, here's just a little bit of her jewelry right here. She has men and women's jewelry. She has a little store in her home. All you have to do is call her. She's here local in San Antonio, 915-920-8157. Ladies and gentlemen, don't get this confused. And I'm not knocking the people who do it. Everybody has a hustle, right? But this is not the $5 jewelry. Everything behind me costs $5. No, this is some legit badass jewelry that she walks you through her store. She does extra stuff. She has like buy one, get like, she has awesome deals. You got to hit her up, 915-920-8157, and let them know. Ladies, if you got a big wedding coming up, a quince, you want to have some jewelry that nobody has, and you don't want to break the bank, hit her up, 915-920-8157, and make sure you let them know that Bumper sent you.
Bumper sent you.
Yeah, man. And then, of course, well, I got to cover you up, Joey. It's okay.
Nah, it's fine.
Tomorrow night. Cowboys Dance Hall, the place to be. There's no more pre-sale tickets. You're going to have to buy at the door, right? But there's plenty of tickets. There's plenty of room for you to get in. I want to say there might be a few VIP tables left upstairs. I think everything downstairs is already sold out. But tomorrow, David Lee Garza y los Musicales returns for their Thanksgiving special baile right here at Cowboys Dance Hall. David Lee Garza y los Musicales, our good friend Mr. Jay Perez, right? Recent Latin Grammy nominee. And of course, my good friend, my hermano Mike Gonzalez and the Iconics playing all the Jimmy G hits. Tomorrow night, the place to be is Cowboys Dance Hall, right? If you don't go to Cowboys tomorrow, there's something wrong with you. I don't know what to tell you.
You probably ate too much.
The area,
you ate too much.
Right? If you're in the area, you need to come. I bought a 2X shirt. I'm not worried about how much I eat. Yeah,
one size up.
I wear XL, but I bought a 2X. So I can eat all the turkey, all the ham, all the stuffing, and
And if you're thinking, hey, I didn't get pre-sale, I gotta wait in line. That's okay. You'll walk off all that food.
Yeah.
And by the time you get inside the floor or at the dance floor, you'll be ready.
Dude, it's gonna be amazing time. And you guys heard me say the word Josh earlier, right? Josh Tejano, one of the weekend warriors, the youngest weekend warrior, and also up with shout out to our good friends at Tejano Up Radio. Josh has been asked to be the official DJ of tomorrow's festivities, dude. He is like 17 years old. Don't tell the owner. Yeah, Al's son, Josh. So he's gonna be there, man, and he's an awesome DJ. I can't wait to hear him. And it's gonna be hosted by yours truly, right here, Bumper Gomez, and my very good friend Johnny Ramirez from Tejano 95.7. Johnny, it's gonna be a great time, dude. Me and Johnny on the stage together, we're pretty funny. So I can't wait to see everybody out there tomorrow. Again, it's gonna be just an absolute great time. And then here in a couple of weeks, man, if you guys are in the Alice, Texas area, right? Fiesta Navidad Conjunto style. My good friend, Mr. Jim Luna and Quarter Moon Productions, right? Quarter Moon Productions, he texted me something special. He said, please call me before you start the show, right? Free general admission both nights, right, with Chamacos and the Iconics. Tejanos, did you hear that? It's your favorite free. It's your favorite word. Free. Free both nights, downtown Alice, Texas. Los Garcia Brothers, Max Baca y Los Tex Maniacs, J.R. Gomez, the Iconics. I think I have the wrong flyer up because they did change the flyer up. I'll get the right one, I promise you, Jim. But the Iconics are also going to be there, downtown Alice, December 2nd. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a place to be, and it's going to be absolutely free. Right?
Gratis.
Absolutely free. So, yeah, enough about absolutely free. And back to me and Joey.
Speaking of free.
For round 2, baby. We're here for round 2.
Speaking of free.
Thank you guys for, a lot of people ask me, Joey, like, why don't you do the commercials like ever so often? It's me. I'll be honest with you. I like to just do them, talk about them, and be all about it. And then, hey, let's.
It's like going to Mass. At the end, they do the announcement at the beginning, the middle, at the end. You get it, that's it, and you move on.
Yeah,
Can't
there
do it
you
in the
go.
middle.
That's a good way to put it. Un saludos to our good friends in Milwaukee, our Mexican Fiesta crew, Vanessa Salinas Sanchez, Fela, everybody out there in Milwaukee. Thank you guys for always supporting me and everything that I do. And I miss Milwaukee for sure. Milwaukee has really helped Bumpers Wacky Wednesday
What's the temperature
grow.
right there right now?
Shit.
In
Well, ask her,
Milwaukee.
Vanessa, what's the temperature in Milwaukee right now?
Milwaukee.
I would say it's going to say about 34.
Is it
34,
snowing?
35.
Snow?
That's my guess.
No snow?
We'll see. Well, she'll comment here in a minute. But if you're just joining us, guys, my guest tonight, Joey Martinez, here on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday on this Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, right?
Haven't eaten all day.
But-
For those of you, waiting for tomorrow.
Hey, what did I tell you? Mid-30s. Bam, son.
There it is, Milwaukee.
I need to be a weatherman.
Put the beer
I need to be a
outside.
weatherman. Joey, let's talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. You know, I love...
You like green bean casserole.
Dude, I love... You heard me
Said that-
earlier.
I heard you
love
earlier. You said you had green bean casserole is your thing.
But what I love about Thanksgiving, dude, is family, bro. Like, I remember growing up, Thanksgiving Eve, like, everybody would come from out of town, and everybody just drinking. You got the tios outside, and they're going to start smoking turkey. And last time, sometimes they don't even smoke turkey. They skip it. They got brisket, chicken. Like the turkey is the least of their worries, right?
It's the last thing. It's in the oven.
A lot of beer, a lot of tequila, good music. You know, the comadres inside. And
Fire pit.
Yeah, you know, fire pit going. Kids running around playing hide and go seek. Like, for us, that's normal. You get that, right? Like, for us,
I mean, you got to be
for
around
us
people.
here,
It's got to be people.
that's
yeah.
a normal thing. What we forget is other cultures, that's not normal.
No, they don't. Like, everything's proper. They dress up.
Yeah, they
Remember the
come
first time
over
we
and it's
were
like,
what?
you know.
Dressing up with a tie to eat? Chale.
Vanessa said it's very nipply. I'm not chica. Let me put my bra on it.
Milwaukee.
No, but you know, talking about, you know, Thanksgiving Eve, that's what I remember, bro. Like, and even now, like right now, my house is quiet. Everybody's at basketball games, and you know, we're
Except
gonna
for
go
your
to
dog.
Friendsgiving
Even your dog
here
took off, yeah.
after this. Yeah, even the dog took off. But no, dude, our culture, bro. It's all about family, dude. It's awesome. I mean, if you stop to think about it, like anybody watching right now, you have to agree that's what it's like. I mean, even if you have a small family, you always have some kind of extended family.
Somebody's
right?
going to show up.
Somebody's showing up, bro.
I don't think we know. I don't think we know how to cook for just 2 people or 4 people. There's always you got to have leftovers. You got to have leftovers. Otherwise, it doesn't. Because you're eating it later, 2-3 days. 2-3 days, yeah, okay, that's fine. Ya para el domingo, that's it. Whatever's there, I'm not eating anymore. But I won't eat pumpkin pie till like today, yesterday. I'm saving it for like a month because I don't want. I know I'm gonna eat a lot of it. But it's about the leftovers. It's bringing that, and everybody, that tryptophan and that turkey, everybody's taking naps. Whoever gets up first, go to the refrigerator.
Yeah, the little football games in the street. Like, you know, that's, again, I'm not saying the culture, some don't do it. I'm just saying they just don't do it the way we do it.
Nah, we do
You know what I mean? How many comedians you always see do, and they're like, man, you need to get you a Mexican friend. Like, Mexican people know how to party.
That's what the food is.
The food, you're never going to have an empty can in your hand. It's just who we are, man. It's really, really cool, man. As my son's texting me right now, he's texting me, he's like, hey, in the group text, hey, you guys better show up with your other halves because we need a lot of football players. He's worried about the turkey bowl tomorrow. So, guys, my guest tonight, Mr. Joey Martinez, Miradas, also an ex-vocalista de David Ligadas a los Musicales, and we're here talking with them. In the second half of the show, we really want to talk about, your time with Rodeo, no?
Yeah, after that. Yeah, I did David Lee and then released music on my own. And then Panchito, I was working at Southside at the time, and Panchito was his music teacher at Freedom Elementary. And he called me up, I want to say right before Thanksgiving. He called me up and said, hey, Joey, this is actually Miguel Spindola went and told me, hey, Panchito's looking for, I gave him your number. I'm like, yeah, dude, tell him to call me. So he called me, goes, hey, Joey, we're in the studio right now. I said, yeah, no, I can help. And me, because we've always, the music with Miguel Spindola, like, all these musicians, everybody helps each other out. Tweety's paid on everybody's CD. Steve, we use all those same guys. Joey Sanchez, on drums. Eddie Perez Jr. on drums. I mean, these guys are helping everybody. So we knew everybody. So when Panchito gave me a call, I'm thinking, oh, you're in the studio? Yeah, bro, I'll go help you out. I'll go help you out with some backup vocals. He goes, no. I want you to front the band. I'm like, oh, shoot, you're bringing it back? He goes, yeah, we're going to try it again. Okay, cool. And shout out to Roel. I mean, that guy, again, talk about, I'm always coming in behind these guys that I'm trying to,
Roel's
the guy was gone for a while, and he'll tell you the story. I mean, he found out, with the acid reflux, he couldn't sing, and he tells that story how, I don't know if it was Milwaukee or somewhere, where they got off the stage and this couple came up to him and said, hey, when is Rodeo singing? I mean, and I'm listening going like, oh shoot, because the reflex, you got to watch out, the vocals, and so for me to jump in at that time, like I said, it was just, I had those shoes to fill. Roel is when I think of Grupo Rodeo, yeah, the Jaime brothers, of course. But Roel, I mean, that guy's, like I said, his vocals are, and he's back. I don't care what anybody says.
Some of his stuff right now.
No, he's got some stuff. I said, Roel has that unique, when it's Roel singing. I mean, so it's like coming in again with Rodeo. Yeah, it was fun, you got there doing, but again, I'm trying to be me. I'm not trying to be anybody else. I'll sing the song the way I'll sing it. I'm not going to change it up. I'll try to get it as close to it as possible. But it was with Rodeo, like I said, Panchito called me up, hey, let's do this. And then after a while, we did that I think we did 2 CDs. We were working on the third one, and then he kind of backed off for a little while. Again, you get burned out. And like I said, I think Panchito just kind of was, he was doing it, and then you kind of get certain things, frustrations come up with like, it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and then you kind of back up a little bit. Okay, let's try this, and so you just, Rodeo was another experience that playing around with these guys, and that's how I met Tweet.
The whole time I'm thinking right now, bro, you're gonna laugh what I'm thinking about.
I don't laugh at you, man.
Bro, you couldn't get away from Stranglers, bro. You went from David Lee to Rodeo, puro Wrangler, puro Stranglers.
I mean, it's just, like I said, just anybody. Yeah, it wasn't like, I just, just singing with just, nobody, just
there you go.
Singing with these nobodies, but no, yeah, that was, like I said, it was, God put me in places. He always finds a way to put me where I need to be. And like I said, it worked out with David Lee, it worked out with Rodeo. And at the same time, I was still doing my own stuff. And then trying to, getting that experience. Okay, I like that. I'm going to borrow this. And again, meeting all those musicians, be able to use them in the studio, to get the sound that you want.
Yeah.
So and right now finishing up, I have the EP that's out right now, and working on 6 more songs. So I'm releasing another, it'll be a deluxe.
A deluxe.
So I'll include these 5 plus a new 6, and hopefully I'm shooting for March of the coming year, releasing a single.
And what recording studio do you use?
This one, the first CD that I did on my own, I went with a Slack Monster that was Sevi. Shout out to Sevi. And then this CD, I've been working with Eddie Perez out of New Braunfels, little Eddie. He wanted to be here tonight, but he just got back from the Latin Grammys because he's involved with the Latin Grammys.
He was over there with Peso Pluma and shit,
he was out there in Spain or stuff, and then makes a pit stop in Paris. And I mean, it's whatever. Hey, I gotta go.
I just talked to Juan this morning. I said, wait. I told Juan Trevino, I said, hey, bro, I don't want to ask no Grammy questions. I just got one question for you. He goes, shoot it. I said, hey, what was the first meal you had when you got back to Asia?
I don't want to say the food over there's pretty good.
He said menudo. I'm like, that's my dog right there. That's my dog.
I can see that. You don't get menudo in Spain.
So one of the comments that's coming up a lot is the words Tejano Guns. What is Tejano Guns, bro?
Tejano Guns was a group that, and I know Daniel Sandoval's out there. I'm trying to think of these guys. Rene Garza, who's playing keyboards right now with Sonny. And I think Daniel, the drummer, he's playing with, I think he's with the Conjunto Bandits, with JR. And then we had Adam, the bass. I'm trying to think of these guys. I'm sorry, guys. On keys, he'll probably put it on there. Adam, another Adam, and guys. I mean, we had a little group. Right after I left David Lee, it's a group out of Austin. I met Chris Tristan, and then he kind of hooked me up with these guys because I wanted to keep playing. Like I said, I got off the stage, but I couldn't leave the dance hall. I mean, it's like I wanted to get back on. So after I had met Chris, and he got me in touch with these guys, and they called themselves the Tejano Guns, young guys. And that was back in 2001, around there sometime, 2001, 2002. And those were the guys, like I said. And again, those guys went off to play with other people. I mean, I've been blessed, to be around musicians. And they come with me, and I had nothing to do with whatever they're doing now. I mean, I just happened to be blessed and had the honor of playing with those guys.
David O and David Silva.
David O, that's what it was. Oh, and David Silva out there, another guy. Shout out to Campanas. All those guys from Campanas de America that on the last CD recorded a song on there. I mean, I've just been, like I said, getting to meet all these people and getting to work with these different musicians. Tweety was the guy that I met with, met through Panchito. And they come to find out they kept talking about this guy named Tweety. Oh, what's a Tweety? Who's going to be a grown-ass man, and his name is Tweety. Really? But then you get to meet him. He's actually pretty cool. And then I'm an assistant principal at Southside, and there's one girl there. She said, we went back to Bridgeport. I said, I know a guy from us. His name, you know Tweety? I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess that's his name. Arturo is his name, in case you're wondering. But he goes by Tweety.
Hey, bro, don't be giving out people's
Tweety.
Government names, dog.
It could have been. No, it's just right here. It's just right here between us. Nobody's going to say anything. It's between us. Angelica didn't even know that.
Oh, Angelica doesn't even know his real name, bro. Now you just screwed it up for him.
Sorry, bro. But those days were fun. We did some fun gigs. Like I said, we went up to as far as Kansas. We did the Michigan thing. And I remember driving was it Lansing, Michigan? We were driving up in there, and I told them, everybody's waking up. I said, man, you realize that we just drove from San Antonio to Tucson back home plus 2 hours, because it was like a 12-hour drive to get to Tucson and back. So we drove 26 hours just to do those 3 hours. But it was fun. Like I said, it's hanging out with those guys.
It goes back to what we said earlier, through Joey, is the life of the musico is not for everybody, bro.
No, it's not.
And you'll find out real quick if you're made for that road life or not.
It's fun, though. Don't get me wrong. It's fun.
I can imagine what it's like on a marriage. Literally, I can imagine what it's like on a marriage. Like,
well, it depends. I mean, it depends. Sometimes the wife is like, yeah, no, go. Yeah, you can. We'll see you after the weekend.
So let me ask you, because you're an avid Wacky Wednesday watcher. I've been what's the word I'm looking for? Help me out here, teacher. Where people come up to you. I've been approached. And I won't name
accosted.
No, I won't name the band, but it's a very popular band, and they've been around a long time. I've been approached by the wives that watch the show, and they're like, "Hey, you've done sound engineers, you've done promoters, you've done you've done this and that. How about the wives of musicos? Like, do a show of what it's like to be a wife of a musico."
Well, I mean, think about your wife. As far as a military wife. I mean, what?
Yeah, no. I'm sure military. For me, military is different. Cuando te vas, you're gone. Like, there's no hey, babe, I'll be back. I'm going for a weekend. Come back, and estás en el pedo. A musician at the end of the day, you're in the pedo.
According to who?
According to you call it work, but for the majority of America, you're in a nightclub, you're in the pedo, right?
Well, yeah, but it's still
in the military.
Still work.
You're gone. You're in the pedo, like the real pedo, right? But would you think that would that be an interesting show?
I think it would be.
But I wouldn't want to piss nobody off, though.
Well, I mean, we'll find a wife that's not pissed off at her husband, and then you won't get the.
But I mean, if they're still married, they're gonna.
There's certain things I think just like your wife, I'm sure because my niece is the same way. Her husband, shout out Mandy, and her 8 kids. They got 8 kids, and guess how many times he got deployed? No, not 8.
8
I
times.
Don't know, but it's probably no. But you start to get into a rhythm, right? I'm sure your wife got into a rhythm, and you show up, and it's like, What am I here? Like, it's the same thing when you're
Yeah,
gigging.
no.
If you're gigging every weekend,
you're absolutely
the wives
right.
have, you got to have, it takes a special person, a special wife to be able to stay back and live her life and still do what she's going to do to either raise the kids and stuff like that. So I have all the respect for wives out there, the musicians' wives that are staying back. Some of them are out there with them, they do certain gigs.
Yeah.
My wife goes, if it's a local, yeah, I'll go. But most of the time, like, no, I'm good. Like, because it's not.
That's my people always ask me, like, dude, your wife, like, I always see you by yourself. And I tell my wife sometimes, I come and say, hey, man, people think that you don't like me. She's like, and it's not that. It's just we got a young son, right? And a lot of times I'm out. It's during the week,
right?
You know what I mean? And we don't. He's on a schedule. She's on a schedule. Me, I think I'm still 25, young Marine. I can get up and go, but I'll be dragging ass the next day. But I make it. But what do you guys think? Let's go to the chat. Like, would you guys watch a show if I had 3 to 4 wives of maybe some popular musicians that have been around for many years? Would that be an interesting show that you guys would dig to watch?
I think people would
man.
Watch.
Chris Destan said, what about a radio guy like myself? Well, Chris, I would agree that your wife probably lived a very hard life being married to a radio DJ, and then especially as long as you've been
married to him
in the business. Yeah, married to him. But the way I see it is, I'm a little more. You go home every night, not that bad. As long as, and that's the way I see it. Like, I don't care what I do. After being a Marine, like, I don't care what I do, even if it's 30 minutes or an hour. If I get to sleep in the same bed with you, my leg touches your leg for at least 30 minutes, I'm happy. I'm good.
We're married.
We're married.
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm not in the desert somewhere in some far off, godforsaken place. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way
you should do that. You should bring some of the wives on there and just let them.
Somebody said, Bob, they might get a little dangerous. I don't know. We'll talk about it, man. Maybe I can work something out where I can get some wives and still be kind of respectful. Not going to be nothing, people are automatic. The last time you think it's going to be negative. But dude, honestly, bro, I mean, the life you guys live on the road is not for every. Oh shit, Larry Gonzalez like, but which wife? Wife 1, wife 2, or the ex-wife? I like
Yeah, shout out to Christopher Douglas out there, Daniel Pena watching.
Barstow Bear. Not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
Shut it down. Daniel Pena out there, Barstow Bear. Oh, Coach Perez. Shout out to Coach Perez out there, South Side.
Don Cheto was like, nah, I wouldn't want to watch a thing of the ex-wife.
Tweet said no. Tweet said Charlie. All the musicians are coming here and say, Charlie, no.
The male musicians are all going to come in here and say, Charlie, no. We would not want to do that.
Got my sisters over there watching, family watching. Oh, there's my cousin, Linda.
Man, saludos to all your family, bro. I know you got a lot of people tuning in. And again, if this is your first time, welcome to Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Hopefully you guys subscribe to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the bell, subscribe, like, share. I didn't say it tonight, but I usually say it every other show. The show is absolutely free. All we ever ask you to do is hit the share button. You never know. You might make somebody's night. Somebody might be in bed right now because their spouse pissed them off or they went out.
There you go. Mira, cabrón, I told you.
And you're just going to Facebook and you find two guys here shooting the shit, and maybe, it's up your alley. I don't know. Shout out to a good friend of mine, Mr. Mick Doza, who's sporting Bumpers Wacky Wednesday attire in the country of the Philippines.
The Philippines.
That was wild, bro.
That's crazy.
That was wild. So shout out to Mick Doza watching. I don't know what time it is in the Philippines right now, but it's probably...
Doza.
Yeah, Mick Doza. Dude, so this guy's a Filipino, 100%, lives in Las Vegas.
Nice.
But is an amazing musician.
What's he doing in Vegas?
I want to say he's in the Army.
Oh, stationed up there?
Stationed in Vegas.
You could be stationed in Vegas for the Army?
Yeah, it's right outside the Air Force. He might be Army or Air Force, but it's Laughlin. Laughlin is right there. People live in Vegas and they work in Laughlin. But anyway, he's an amazing keyboard player, piano player, and he is, as most musicians are, they just love music. They really don't care. I mean, they listen to the lyrics, but they just love music. And the guy, is really falling in love with Tejano music. And he watches the show to learn about the
Yeah,
artists and learn the history. So it's really cool, man.
Oh, everybody's getting steel guitars coming in there too. You see that?
Say somebody said put some rules because you can now.
Oh, okay. We're not gonna do it anymore. Forget it.
It's
There's
canceled.
no rules. Yeah,
Everybody said no. He said
There we
said
go.
no.
Chale. We're
So,
not gonna do it.
dude, Joey, you brought some attire here. Where can people grab this this merchandise?
Right now, you can probably hit me up on Facebook, and I think I'll ship it out to you. We've got limited merchandise right now. I got caps. I brought you some caps. So one for you and one for your wife. So you have to fight over to see which one you get and which one your wife gets.
I wear the pink one. That's more my style.
Good, because that's the one I got for you.
Yeah.
But there's limited merch, but I'm getting it going again. We're gonna get some more merch, get some shirts out
Well,
there.
if you need a merch guy, I got one.
I hear. That's what I hear.
I got one. I got
Gibbs. Apparently, Gibbs is the guy that does all the merch.
Yeah, he does it. He does for, man, you'd be amazed how many people he does it for. Mick Dozer corrected. He's like, I'm in the Army National Guard in North Vegas. Love Tejano, and I've seen Joey in some videos. Love his vocals.
Oh, thank you, Mick. Dozer.
One day at the Vegas convention, they have it at the, I forgot the name of the damn.
They've had it at different hotels.
Yeah, but the latest one was at the
Rio. No.
If you say it, I'll tell you it's
Sahara. I don't even know. I don't know.
Anyway, they have a room that has a grand piano in it,
And you busted.
and so I'm walking, buzzed as hell.
In Vegas, you drink.
So I'm walking, and Westgate. Let's go Westgate.
Oh, Westgate.
So I hear a Selena song, but playing on the piano, and I'm like, "What the?" So I start like walking a little faster, and then I look. Mick Dozer.
Mick Dozer right there playing on the
Sitting
piano.
there playing on the piano in this room that's just made for people to stop and play the piano. So I recorded him a little bit. It was pretty cool, man. It was really cool. Hey, oh, there you are, Angelica. Welcome. She threw it out there. The Westgate.
Westgate.
Joey, what else, bro? What else? What do you got in the future, man? What you got planned for?
Right now, I'm working. Like I said, I'm working on that. The next 6 tunes, release an EP. Just go out there, Spotify, iTunes, download it. And about to release the 3rd single off that EP, Entre Mi Vida. It'll be released on.
And that's the one we started the show with.
Yes, we're gonna send that out to. Shout out to Laura Sines, who's gonna send that out for me on this Friday to get the DJ, so you can start requesting it. Entre Mi Vida is it's a remake, it's a cover, it's a homage.
An homage.
An homage. No, it's an old Sin Bandera song from the 90s, and again with Eddie Perez went in there and he did his thing, and we did like
bad dude,
ranchera. Yeah, Eddie's a good
Eddie
guy.
Perez is a bad dude.
Eddie's a bad dude, and then his son laid the drum tracks on there. Eddie Perez Jr. That kid is he started doing some stuff on there. In fact, it was on that song, or in the second verse, he does this thing with the drums where it kind of like little syncopation in there, and it throws me off. And I told Eddie, man, turn the drums off, bro, because he said, no, just keep singing it normal. I said, bro, I can't turn the drums off so I can sing it and then put the drums back in.
Eddie Perez Jr. is you're talking to Eddie's son, right?
Yeah, his son. Junior is the little Eddie. Well, I know little Eddie Perez was little Eddie always to me. This was baby Eddie. I call him baby Eddie because I don't get him confused. The little that plays accordion, drums.
Okay, so a lot of people don't know he plays the accordion. Well, dude, we were in Milwaukee, and you know what? I need to post him because I never posted him. But I go up to accordion players. I'm like, hey, you're live on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, and let's see how good you are. I name a song, and you got to play it on the accordion right now, on the spot. Dude, little Eddie killed that shit on the. He had Leo from La Calma.
Oh,
he
accordion.
grabbed his accordion,
Gabinelli, yeah.
and I was like, I left there baffled, like, what, dude? I thought you played the drums. He goes, nah, bro, I can do.
No, he
I can
play
play everything.
That kid is.
I was like, wow.
No, he's an incredible little drunk. He's good. And then of course Eddie did the bass, stuff. And then Panchito came in there, and did some keys and some sax on some of the songs on there. Eddie brought in a guy from Austin, steel guitar player on the first song that we released.
Yeah, a little country sound.
The little twang, and that was
that's
Eddie's
where
fault.
They got it from, bro.
Yeah, probably
They got it from you, dog. You need to hit him up, Ricky.
I hope so. Hey, Ricky, I'm sorry. No, but it was We released it May 30th. I don't know if that's, go back to, but when he brought that guy in, what it was, like as we recorded the song, and in fact, it was kind of like that, the way that style was. We had Intocable in mind when we were in the studio. And then as we're going along, I'm singing it, and then we kind of looked at each other. My brother-in-law, Rudy, co-produced it along with Eddie. And then it's like, dude, do y'all hear still guitar in this song? Like, yeah, like everybody.
What was that song?
Para Toda la Vida. That's the first one on the first track. And we had...
Let's jam it.
When we did that one, you can play that one. Check out the intro. Can you hear it live?
Pero qué casualidad, qué caprichos es la vida, donde te vine a encontrar, quién se lo imaginaría, y yo que en el amor ya no confiaba, pero por ti cambié lo que pensaba, y ahora solo quiero estar en tu mirada para toda la vida, despertar con tu sonrisa. Ahora estoy que me derrito de amor cuando mencionas mi nombre con tu voz, para toda la vida, junto a ti toda la vida. A tu lado lo bonito volvió. La vida contigo es.
I like it,
mean,
bro.
that was,
I like it. Hey, dude.
We had the idea, like I said, the idea was there, and then Eddie said, "Hey, I got this guy in, Jeff Queen out of Austin." He said, "I know some guys in Nashville," and then they told him about this guy up here, so he's been using that guys. So he sent me 2 tracks. He sent me the one. He goes, "Hey, the idea was to have accordion, and then kind of with the steel guitar in the background, kind of to fill it in."
Yeah.
So he sends me that track where it's got the accordion. Then he sends me another track. Hey, this second track I'm sending, I'm just going to see what this guy, he's just messing around. Like, I'm going to get bits and pieces from this. So it started out with the intro, and I called him back. I said, "No, bro, we're going to go with that. You should have never sent me that second one, because now I want the steel guitar in the front and the accordion in the back." Because it just grooved. I mean, it was one of those, like, okay, cool. And then I had my nephew Andy out there. When I sent it to him, he goes, "And thank you for not singing it with a twang." I'm like, "No, dude, I'm not country. I want to go disrespect the country and sing it with the twang. That's not what that's about."
Oh, shit. That's hilarious. He said he went through a little country drawl in there.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the people here sending. Oh, Angelica, we know she's on there. David Silva. Hey, David. Who was it? My nephew Andy. My wife Jenny. Hey, Chula. We got Velma Lopez watching. Mario Solis on there. And Danny Rodriguez all the way from Midland. That's the guy that... Yo sé que tú, the one that David Farias sang, he wrote that one for me.
He
that's
wrote
Danny.
that song?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yo sé, while we played the sax.
Yeah.
Yo sé que tú. Yeah, that was...
Hey, dude, well, we got to play that. Man, I was so mad I had to leave to the award show, but he played the sax with this Chente the other night, on Sunday night there with the Weekend Warriors, man.
Wow.
So... Saludos to Jonathan Pacheco, Danny Rodriguez, Mario Solis, EJ Arteaga, Kathy and David Silva, Angelica Alcocer.
She's there again, incognito, todo incognito.
Incognito.
I didn't always hide. She's probably behind me. Oh, no, she's not.
Again, man, want to give another shout out to Angelica, Grupo Moneda tweet. If you guys, they got a brand new single that just got released today called Karma. You got to check it out.
For the white people, it's Karma.
Yeah, Karma. It's Karma. The words are just absolutely.
If you're talking about now, if you did have a show with women on here, that would be the show to put on there. See, man, that's the thing. When you hurt a woman and she writes a song
like that,
dang, that's like it's you can't see, but women can do that. I can't write a song about a girl. Well, I did. Called Vete Ya, what they're going to, but I can't. When women do it, it's different.
To me, one of the most simplest songs of all time that it's just, and hear me out, it's one of the most simplest songs, but it's so powerful. Powerful song. A thin line between love and hate.
And you like that song?
I love oldies.
You can't. That's another thing too. Oldies. It was all about the lyrics. The music was there, but it was the lyrics.
It was the
lyrics. If you can get to the point where I'm trying to get there, I haven't gotten there yet. The great songwriters like Luis Padilla from La Firma, that guy can say in 3 minutes what it'll take me 15 minutes to tell a story.
Easy.
The words that he picks, the way they choose the words, and the way the certain words. And Yayo's the same way. Like these songs, Para Toda La Vida, and the other one, Ni Un Millón de. I mean, there's certain lyrics. I'm not there yet. I don't think I'll ever be. But I'm trying to get to the point where I can write a song to where I can say in a few words. There are some lines that I've written that I think, not to brag, but like on Vete Ya, now you want to go back to the way it was, como un flor, un pájaro libre volando, or una abeja, flor a flor, like trying to get that, that image, that picture in your head with as little words as possible. When you get those songwriters, and back then you had those guys that wrote tunes back then. Now, I mean, there's songs out there, yeah, but there's catchy stuff.
A lot of
there's nothing wrong with the catchy stuff.
We catch a lot of. I watch other podcasts all the time, just that are not popular with Tejanos. They're like regional Mexican, whatever. And whenever Tejanos brought up, a lot of them always say that. Es que es simple, right? La letra es bien simple, like
right.
The lyrics are real simple. But sometimes those are badass songs, simple lyrics.
If you can
they got badass hooks.
You can say a little bit,
you get
a few words.
Mm-hmm. And I always say, what do you mean by that? Look at Pitbull. Pitbull probably has maybe 2 songs that has more than 2 verses of lyrics. It's the same shit over and over again. You just put it in your head and you end up liking the song. But going back to her song, it's powerful.
Well, we got to send a shout out to Father Paul.
He's watching.
Father Paul Mata out there all the way from, he was in Alpine. I think now he's back in El Paso. Father Paul Mata. He's from Pecos, another East Sider. Todo East Side. My niece is on there, Angela. Who else is on here? Philip Gonzalez. Larry Orona. Larry Orona is watching. There it is. Larry Orona, all the way from Pecos. Like I said, all those Tarilas people, man. Tarilas.
You got a lot of people watching on your behalf, bro.
Lynn, hey, Lynn.
That's awesome.
All the people from Tarilas watching tonight. There's Noel right there. Panchito's brother is watching. That guy's a sound guy right there. Noel, that's Panchito's brother. When he ran sound for, I think he was. I know he was helping out.
When you say sound and Panchito, I think of Panchito. Panchito.
Panchito Villarreal from
the Negrito. Panchito.
No, not that Pancho.
Hey, Pancho's
Bautista?
a bad.
No, he's good.
That's a bad.
No,
dude
Panchito.
right
No, that's Pancho. I call him Pancho. Yeah. But he's Panchito Villarreal Jr. His brother Noel. He's an awesome. That guy's. We played in Amarillo one time, and they gave us like a PV. And for those of you who don't know, sound system. The PVs are like the. If you compare
Pro
like
Wings?
shoes. Yeah,
the Pro Wings
they're like the ones you get from like the Walmart, the ones you get right there on the shelf at Ross. No, not even Ross. But he made that PV sound. I mean, that guy Noel's that good. Big shout out to Noel.
He made it sound really good. Nah, Joey has a lot of people watching, man. It's really, really cool. Hey guys, if this is your first time watching, again, man, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Thanksgiving Eve, wherever you might find it. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up that they're listening in as they're driving. So that's cool. We're coming through the radio speakers. Shout out to everybody driving, man. I know there's a lot of people on the road. Be safe.
And for those
of
you that can't cook, stay out of the kitchen. Let the cooks, and I'm not going to say women, whoever the cook is, let the cook be the cook. The rest of you either move out of the way or stand on the side right there and, hey, can I get you something? Do whatever. You're right there, the assistant. Don't get in the way. It's going to mess up the food. It's going to mess it up. And if it's your wife cooking.
There's a video of the Negrita.
If it's your wife cooking.
Video?
No, I haven't seen that one.
The Negrita, she cancels all of Thanksgiving because she sends her daughter. Her daughter was supposed to make macaroni and cheese. But she made she made some like crazy ass
3 cheeses.
mac and cheese.
This is not
the lady is literally pissed off.
If you don't know what you're doing, stay out of the kitchen.
You don't experiment. You don't experiment on Thanksgiving. You experiment on your own. You don't bring that shit on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, stay out of the way. You could be an assistant. Stay out of the way because if you pissed your wife off and she's cooking, that food's not gonna come out right.
Hell yeah.
Let her go.
Let's see if I have anything.
There it is. Rudy Falcon finally got on. He probably shout out to SeaWorld. My brother-in-law, he finally got on. He's a sound tech out there at SeaWorld.
Right now? Oh, yeah, that's the guy that helps you out. He helped you out every so often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
That's my brother-in-law. That's the one that married my sister, so I went to come out of the group.
Saludos. Joey, so you got the other songs you're gonna push, man, and it's gonna be a full. What'd you call it? Not a full album.
It's gonna be like I guess like a deluxe. Right now, this one is called Aguila.
I never heard of deluxe. I heard of LP, EP.
Well, I mean, deluxe means like because I'm putting these 5 songs and then I'm adding 6 more to do one.
But it's gonna be in one album.
It'll be one. Well, I mean, and that at that point I'll go ahead and print some. I'm even doing some vinyl. I know people have asked for vinyl. So once I get, because I don't want it's tough to have somebody to buy your 5 songs. Like I said, just download it right now. And I'm actually gonna do when we print it, when we actually go to a CD or even a vinyl, I want to make sure there's at least 10 songs on it. So we'll have 11, and at that point we'll release it. This one's entitled Aguila. For a lot, Pecos Eagles, that's the main thing. Mount Eagles, that's another thing, but that kind of helped. But the main thing was because my grandfather, my dad's dad, Papa Pomposo, I remember we were growing up, every time, you got that Aguila, when somebody would fall or something would fall, that's heads or tails, right? Aguila is the tails, that's what it was. Tails never fails. That was always like, somebody would trip and fall, Aguila, and my grandfather would yell. So that was kind of
Aguila.
No, Aguila was like because tails, whatever falls. So that's where that came from. And then the next one will be that'll be a surprise. But it'll be, again, big shout out to all the Tarilas people out there tuning in.
Mario Solis, I used to watch him back in Pecos, Texas. His old band Miradas and all the quinces and the weddings. Shout out to Mario Solis. And Johnny O, you're all late, bro. We gave Irene and JoJo a wedding anniversary shout out, but we're going to do it again because I love them. 33 years.
33
Larry
years.
Bird. This is their Larry Bird anniversary.
33 years.
Shout out to JoJo and Irene celebrating their 33rd wedding anniversary. So, Joey...
Oh, Marfa Shorthorns right there. Rachel Sotelo.
They're on?
Marfa Shorthorns. I call her Marfa.
Erasmo Flores watching all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada.
North? Oh, that there with Mike Doza?
With Mick Doza.
Mick Doza. Mike, sorry, right? Mick.
There you go. Maybe you guys can get together and have a beer and talk good old Tejano music. Joey, the fact that you were in Tejano music, back then you left a little bit, you're back. Now that you're retired from the whole teaching and coaching thing, do you think you said, you didn't want it to become like a job, but do you think that you could go back and be full time and do this? Yeah, I mean that you're retired. No,
music is always. I think if I would have done it in my 20s, been full time, I think I would have been. I think I appreciate it more. I was watching just the other day, Jennifer Pena. They were interviewing. They asked her like, "What's something you would not do, never do again?" And her response was, "Never sing again, never like that." To me, it was like the music is always there. I'm always thinking about the music. I don't think there was a time a few years ago, before I started doing this, there was a time there, probably a few months where I wasn't even listening to music. Like I was frustrated. I was trying to write music. I couldn't. It was just, it took a toll on me. Like I didn't want to do it. But that was a short time. It was like maybe a month or so. And I'm not depressed or not anything bad like that. It was just like, I didn't want to listen. But then like I said, it's for me, I miss it. It's the fans. It's getting up on stage. It's getting to meet new people. And sign those autographs, taking pictures, doing those selfies. For me, that's what's cool. When we were coming, but we went to Las Vegas the last weekend in October, my wife and I, to go see U2 play at the Sphere, that new Sphere. Awesome show. Y'all need to catch that if you can afford it. My wife still hasn't told me how much it costs, but that's fine. She paid for it. We spent the weekend up there, and on the way back, we had a layover in Oklahoma City, and I'm sitting across, and I posted on Facebook. I'm sitting across. This guy drops his headphones on the floor, the iPod, the earbud. I give it to him, and I make eye contact with him, and I'm like, yes, sir, thank you. And I give it to him, and I turn around, and I'm looking up before the plane pulls out. I still have internet. I'm looking it up. I know. I was sitting next to Billy Gibbons, the lead vocalist for ZZ Top. Hall of Famer, sitting right there. The guy's asleep. You see the beard? And my wife I said, I think that's him right there. She goes, look, he's got the same rings. And I'm thinking, my wife's like, well, ask him. I said, no, I'm not going to bother right now. He's sleeping. When we land, we'll ask him. This guy's been in it long enough. He's either going to be a jerk because you after a while you're like you forget,
You get immune to all that.
or he's gonna be the nicest guy, because you say you never want to meet your heroes. You never want to meet these people. That was the nicest man anybody could meet. There was a girl sitting with us over here that like last wanted an autograph for her husband's boss, and I asked him. He pulled out this little he had like little papers with his picture on it, little cartoon paper, and he signed it. And the people were trying to get off the plane. He goes, "Oh, I'll get you guys up there." And I'm thinking he's gonna take off. No, dude, we went out the tunnel, got into the airport here in San Antonio. He was there waiting, like real nice guy,
waiting to give you guys
waiting
the
to give us autographs so he could, like I said, real nice. So for me, when it comes to that, if people like that can be nice, who am I? I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have fun doing it. When you see me at a show, when you see me up on stage, I'm having fun. Sometimes I tend to make fun of people too much, and they might take it personal. Get over it. But but I'm having fun. Like I said, it's only fun. I'll try not to embarrass. But again, I was a lot worse. But I've had friends, in my past, like, hey, bro, if you're gonna put us down, and if you're having fun because you're having fun, but don't put others to, So there's people, like I said, in my life that have always kept me in check. That have, that's what the glove is for. Like I tell my niece, like my brother said, that's what the glove is for, Zane. It's about having fun. It's about, I don't think I could ever, at this point, I don't think I can get burned out. It's just hard for me now, like when.
So you could do it. If somebody came to you and be like, "Hey Joe, we're gonna throw you on this little tour," you know what I mean? You could.
Oh, I jump on. Oh yeah,
you jump on it
because and you learn as you go on. Like I said, it's that's fun. I love going to concerts and seeing. I go to concerts, but I'm listening, but I'm also watching. I'm watching the production. I'm watching the PA system. I'm watching all that stuff. I'm taking it all in. It's to think, oh, cool. If I could be, what would I do if I was there? I remember when I got up on stage with David Lee. Growing up, it's like, okay, you're gonna think it's this feeling. You're gonna feel like this because you see him up there, and like, oh man, if I was up there on stage, what would it feel like? And we're playing in Carrizo's. I think it was the Bear Den or something like that. And they had mirrors all in the back. And I remember looking up, and I looked, and I didn't, like I said, hey, it looked cool, but it didn't feel like I thought it was gonna feel. Because the guys are so humble, and it's not like you think it's this. It's still fun, but and for me it was while I'm up here. But hey, it was just like hanging out with my buddies. It wasn't when I met what's that guy hanging out with Mr. Cooper, the comedian, Mark Curry. Met him when I was going to school in Star Wars. We picked him up at the airport. He did a show. Down to earth guy. You expect this guy's on TV right before he had his series right there on the comedy series on TV. Met that guy, real cool. So you meet these people, and you think, okay, all right. They're human beings. You can be human. You can still do the stuff that you do, but not get to that point to where you think you're better than everybody else.
Nah, man, that's cool, man. And that was something I was saving for the end to ask you. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people on here. I think a lot of people would love to see you get back on there, maybe do a show here and there, see how it goes, and go from there, man. Because, we were talking off the air, getting the music on the air and what we consider on the air, terrestrial radio. It's a hard thing to do nowadays.
And I know a lot of it, I'm sure a lot of it has to do with, the advertisement stuff. They have to get so many, commercials in and all that stuff. They got to pay the bills. I get that stuff. But it's the music, the DJs, that's what's good about having, shows like this or even the internet radio. They're playing it. The music's out there. It's getting out there, which is good. But what's tough is that when you hear somebody in the business, I'm not going to mention any names, but when you hear somebody in the business, we have to look at it this way, how popular it is, how's it like that. Like, no, it doesn't. Because if you put, I'll be the first one to admit, and I've admitted to everybody, and I'll still say it today, Maroon 5, when they first put out, there's certain songs that come out from any artist, and as soon as I hear it, boom, I'm in love with it. I mean, one of those songs. A Maroon 5 song has, when I first hear it, it's good. I like it. But I'm hearing it over and over, and the next thing you know, it's like I'm singing it, and I love them now. Like I said, it's
I'm like that with Intocable.
See, when Intocable with me, those guys put out stuff that it's
but I would say for me, Intocable is one of those groups that
it doesn't like you at first.
Yeah, like especially they experiment, they do what they want to do. They do crazy
guys,
stuff.
If you listen to stuff, they're from the '80s, man. Those guys, the influence you can tell.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. You're expecting to hear like a classic Intocable, right? And you start hearing the sound. You're like, what the hell?
guitar, electric
and you're like,
guitar
man, I
and
don't know
stuff
if
in
I'm
there.
gonna dig this. And you hear it again, you hear it again, you hear it. And the next thing you know, you're singing every word. You like every part of the song.
So the
That's just-
the DJs have a lot of, it's not about what would it's just play the music. If you
Yep.
play the music, people will hear it and just keep playing. Eventually, there's like I said, there's a lot of music out there that I don't like at first, but I keep hearing it over and over again, and it's a hook, and that's the thing. Some songs capture you, some songs catch you quick. Other songs it takes a while, like that song right now that Moneda has. Shout out, tweet.
Yeah, shout out.
Angelica,
Yeah,
that Karma.
that's-
Y'all gotta check that one out. That's a
Check
good
out
one.
that song. If you do something tonight, make sure you go. You can go right now to Apple Music. You can go right now to Apple Music. You can type in Joey Martinez that's a Y for some of you know sounds right. Y Miradas, and you click on them. You're gonna get 4 songs right there, right off the top. You're gonna get 4.
5.
Is 5?
There's 5 songs on the scroll. There should be 5.
Yeah. You're right.
Vete ya.
I missed Aguila. Aguila was on top right now.
Aguila's the name of the album, and then there should be another one.
I
There
see
should be
5, dude. I mean 4.
Where's the other one? There's Deseo not on there. Oh, there's Deseo para toda la vida entre mi. Oh, Ni un millón. Another one that Yayo wrote.
Is
There
it
should
on
be
here?
4. It should be.
Nah, I don't. Oh, it's to
Ni
the
un
right.
millón.
Scroll to the right,
Oh,
Mesquite is there.
Now he's got an old. What do you got? Like a Apple? What is it? Like an Apple
Easy.
3?
Hey, that's an Apple 5.
Oh, 5. My
iPhone
bad.
5. It's
5.
an
You gotta
iPhone
scroll
5.
to the right a little bit and see it on the other side. But
Hell
yeah, no,
yeah,
there's
hell
5.
yeah.
You'll get your money's worth. There's 5 good songs on there. The last one, Vete Ya, I did that mariachi version. Shout out to my buddy David Silva from Campanas who arranged it. And then this one, we just did it just with like bajo and.
Joey, I ask all the artists, man. I'm gonna ask you too. You do TikTok?
I'm starting to.
Okay.
I need to do more, but yes, I do have a TikTok.
So you've heard me tell the other artists what they need to do, right?
Get out
Before you
there
go to
and-
bed
yeah.
every night. Everybody scrolls to the phone. Go on TikTok, scroll through there. Go find those DJs that are out there spinning Tejano music, and they got hundreds and thousands of people listening, right, to them. Send them your music, bro.
Olivo, that guy Eddie Olivo that guy's always playing my stuff. Shout out
Send
to Eddie
them
Olivo.
your music. I promise you, they will get your stuff out there. So shout out to all the internet and also the radio DJs, man. All the internet stations, all the social media DJs. You guys are doing your part, and you don't get enough credit, but you're a big part of the industry, whether you think so or not, as far as keeping our music spinning and playing a lot of new stuff, right? Because a lot of radio stations aren't sold on the new stuff, but you guys are open to playing the new stuff and mixing it with the old. So it can be done, and people in the thousands are watching it. So if you're not doing that, go through there, dude. Find you those internet DJs and say, hey, how can I send you my stuff? Send my stuff, or they can get it too if you just tell them who you are.
Oh yeah, we got. I know, like I said, Laura Science is also sending stuff out there for me. So Laura Science, shout out to La Leona Promotions, Leona. But
Was that from after our conversation?
La Leona.
No, Laura Science.
Oh, Laura Science. Yes. Yeah, we had a conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
There you go.
And I got Josh. No era penal, Josh. No era penal. But yeah, no, you're right. Like I say, it's just there's people out there that are playing. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much to, like I said, for a song to get going. People like it. If it's a good song, hey, put it out there. Play
Yeah.
it. And if it's not good, play it anyway. Somebody will like it.
Somebody will always like
somebody's
it.
gonna
Somebody
like
will.
it.
Somebody will for sure always like it, man. Well, Joey, bro. First of all, I want to thank you for your friendship. Second, I want to thank you for all your years in education. And here at Bumpers Wacky Wednesday, man, I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. We'll always back you up here. You got some new stuff you want to spin, we'll throw it out there and talk about it. I think you could do it, personally.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I think if you get all your ducks in a row and you throw the dice, I think you'll roll a couple of 7 or 11s there.
I think I appreciate you saying. Like I said, I think
I can see it. I can hear it in your voice in our conversations we have. It's the rolling of the dice that you're not ready to do.
And it's not even that. Like I said, it's not.
It
I know
is
there's
that.
a chance.
You have the dice. You made it. The table's there. Everything's there. All that's left for you to do is say, Shake them up, shake them, and throw them.
And you're not the first one that tells me that. I got people telling me that all the time. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just like, I guess I don't feel like I'm, again, I have to go back to what I was told 29 years ago. Dude, you can't be that person. You be you. I'm being me. I can't be Angelica. I can't do what she does on stage. Okay, maybe I can, but I don't have those leather pants.
You won't look as good as Angelica.
No, I will not. I don't have those leather pants. Tweet, I mean, with the stuff that he does, all these guys that are out there doing it, for me, like I said, it's being up, and it's not just, when you see us having a good time on stage, it's because the fans are there, yeah, but man, what we do on stage, it's a whole nother, that's a whole nother world. We can just look at each other and stuff, and we already know what we're talking about. You know, my buddy Steve, you know, we've been together since first grade, you know, playing, you know, out there playing the guitar. That's the first guitar player I played with.
Steve Alvarez.
Steve Alvarez. I every time I get up on stage with a guy, that's the standard. That's the bar. If you can't play as good as him, then I don't want you on stage, because I'm not. I've been, like I said, I've been blessed with people
being around badass musicians.
Yeah, all I do is sing. That's my job, and I don't have to worry about anything going on behind me, because these guys are taking care of business. And same thing with drummers. I've had drummers, you know, Leo Marquez, rest in peace. You know, first drummer I played with, and then Buddha, another drummer, passed away, rest in peace. Joey Sanchez, little Eddie over here. All these
don't
guys.
Stop saying that. You're not gonna have no drummers for the tour, bro.
But got you. But no, I mean, and again, there's certain drummers, and if you can't do what these guys do, then I'm sorry. You know, keyboard players, you know, Sevi, you know, you got Mike Molina over there, Water Dog, another thing, bass players, Albie, Ricky Vega, all these guys, you know, Rick Raw. I mean, these dudes that are playing. If you can't do, once you get exposed to those kinds of musicians,
yeah, it's kind of hard to get.
You don't. You can't just go anybody and aspire to be like those guys. And I just try to make sure that I'm prepared enough to know what I'm doing, and then everything else just falls in place.
Yeah.
But I'll roll the dice. I'll
I think you need to.
I'm hoping Moneda takes me on tour with that, because I wouldn't mind opening up for Angelica y Moneda.
Angelica said, Joey Martinez, you're always welcome to on the stage with them, Papa, as long as you wear leather pants.
See? I don't have leather pants.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a part of the show where we...
do a shot of tequila?
Yeah, no, well, we could... I don't... You know what? I don't even have shot glasses, or I'd give you a shot of tequila, but...
This says the Marine who's right there starting with a pencil. I don't have a shot glass.
Well, we
could adapt and overcome.
We could shoot from the bottle.
Adapt and overcome.
I'll let you take the first one.
Is that one of our sponsors?
Quita Penas. Look, if you never had it, I like for people to look, guys.
I've never had it.
Oh, wait a minute.
I've never had it.
If you're a tequila person, right? This tequila was proven tonight. You cannot buy it. No, don't smell it. Don't smell it.
Oh, it smells good.
You cannot buy it here in the United States. You have to have somebody from Mexico bring it. But what I love to do is...
You make me drink illegal stuff?
Yeah. So when I like for people to watch the facial expressions of the people when they take their first shot of Quita Penas. So we don't have a shot glass because Rocky Beltran took them out of here.
Damn it, Rocky.
And they're not here. So you're going to have to just do a little swig from the bottle. No pedo. It's tequila.
I want to judge it. I don't want the stuff spilling all down my chin.
I just want to hear the...
Oh, man, that's not tequila. That's orange juice. Dude, are you serious? Man, if y'all don't know about this stuff, Quita Pena. Dude, there's no burn.
Woo!
There is no... Oh, man, this is... Hold on. Wow. Dude, there's no burn whatsoever. I already put my lips on it. I got to take it home. I already put my lips on it. It's mine now. Hold on, man.
One more for the roll, hijo el vato.
Wow. And I can't get this here in the States.
You if you know somebody in the frontera, they go across and get it from you. That's so... All my people that I know that go to Mexico a lot, they know I like this. So even if they don't tell me, they'll buy it and I just cash out them.
Mexico, if you're watching right now, Quita Penas. What is that? Does they have other flavors?
So
or is that on that blue bottle? They got other colors?
I don't know if they have other flavors. This is the crema de Quita Penas.
Oh my gosh, that is.
But I loved our good friend Cari Karina brought me this.
Dude,
She was the first one.
I'm taking some home. I'm taking some in this.
She was the first one to bring it to me, and she brought it to me, and it was I did the face, And then everybody's been watching, so people been, hey, they're coming for Thanksgiving, vato.
You still got half a bottle there, man. Quit being selfish.
You know he's taking that to his wife for her to try it. I guarantee you he is.
My wife got to try this. This stuff is, it don't even taste, I mean, it smells like tequila. So I know there's tequila in there, but dude, there's no burn. Es que de mi da lime.
Yeah, no, you don't.
Nah,
you don't nothing. But the problem with this one is, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a creeper.
Let it creep.
Because you just like, hey, this is good, and then bam, I'll be like, oh shit.
Nah, this is creeper right now. That's what I'm saving this for when I get back to the house.
Hey, so somebody before we forget, they said you can maybe do chaps, some leather chaps if you want to go on with moneda. They'll let you wear chaps instead.
But
ask the
Tweety,
chaps.
I bet you that was Tweety that made that comment. Tweety say you can wear it. Tweety would say, oh yeah, you can wear chaps. I wear chaps and Tweety wears chaps.
There you go. Ask the chaps at that. Hell yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys joining us tonight for Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. I had a good time. I wish I would have gave him the bottle a little bit earlier. No telling where this show would have gone. But to everybody that just has around family, having a good time this Thanksgiving Eve. Don't forget, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Be thankful. We're all thankful for something in our lives. And
focusing on what you have.
Yeah, our cultura,
don't worry about what
man.
you don't have. What do you have?
Exactly, bro.
Focusing on that.
Be thankful for what you have. It's great to go out and do more, and you want to get more. That's all good and dandy, but sometimes you just gotta stop, take a deep breath, and be thankful for what you have, man. At the end of the day, just be thankful for what you have. And Joey, thank you, brother, from the bottom of my heart for coming out and spending your Thanksgiving Eve here with Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Next week, if this was your first time watching, make sure you tune in, you subscribe, whether on Facebook or YouTube. Next week, it's been over 2 years, one of the original interviews ever done with one of our artists with a live, with a little bit of a cappella action, or what do you call it? I'm having a brain fart. Acoustic, there you go. My good friends from the big city of Seguin, Texas, Art and his boys, the Conjunto Cats, will be here next week. So you Conjunto lovers, you better be ready. They're bringing the accordion, they're bringing the bajo, they're bringing the cajon. So it's going to be a good time, man. Make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday. Conjunto Cats right here on Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. You guys have a very blessed Thanksgiving. And one more time, don't forget, you want to see us tomorrow? Cowboys Dance Hall is the place to be. Make sure you get there early, because it's going to be Mike Gonzalez bringing all the Jimmy G hits, then our good friend Jay Perez and the band, and then the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. David Ligares y los Musicales to close the night. So it's going to be a night you don't want to miss. Come out and see us, hosted by myself and Johnny Ramirez from 103. Or 95.7.
103.3.
There you go, and 103.3. Joey, gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Bumpers.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys soon.
Shout out real quick to my family at home, my wife, Jenny, my sons there, Isai, Allison, my daughter, Brittany. Shout out to Ashley, and then also my granddaughter. So if you check out on the YouTube, go on there. Ay Que Chula wrote that for my granddaughter. She's 10 now, but she was 5 in that video. So you can check that one out.
Okay, nice.
I bring Keita out there, so shout out to them, because I'm about to go home. I'm bringing home some liquor.
But guys, don't forget, man, make sure you guys check out Joey Martinez, right? Miradas right now. Do me a favor and do that on any of your wherever you get your music, man, all your digital platforms.
iTunes, Spotify, it's on there. So download it. It's there, and then be looking out for radio stations and DJs request Entre Mi Vida. It'll release this Friday.
Hell yeah.
But it's on there. You can download already.
There you guys go.